you're the type of person who buys those frozen White Castle burgers in the box,
Yeah, just
you don't belong here.
straight to jail.
Yeah, let's address your mental illness. All right, so we're here to talk fights. We're here to talk this upcoming card.
We're here. This episode's brought to you by BetterHelp.
Ever get tired of having to go to your doctor's office?
Yeah.
So at the top of the episode, I should mention apologies for our last episode coming out so late. That uploaded yesterday for us as we're recording right now, but this episode will be coming out like Thursday maybe. And we are going to be covering UFC Fight Night, Alexa Grasso versus Viviane Araujo or Araujo. I'm not really sure. It's Brazil, so the J is the J sound. That's why it's Jose on you. So I think it's Araujo.
Araujo.
I don't know. That's a tough one to say.
It's pretty much just a good-looking poster before 280. They just want something to look nice.
Are you a little disappointed by this main event? I'm a big WMMA fan, and even I look at this and think like, it's a little tough to sell this as a main event.
You can tell they're like phoning it in. Everyone's already at Fight Island already, so everybody's in Abu Dhabi right now.
I didn't even really think about that. Yeah, this is all the B team over here.
This is like
this card.
Like if Christmas was on a Tuesday, this would be like The Office the Thursday before, where like everyone's working, but it's kind of like they're on their phones kind of deal. I feel like, but we're talking. I don't know if it's gonna make the cut, but there's some legit fucking prospects on here. So for the motherfuckers who know, like, there's some good fights. But it just doesn't seem like a main event. I think it's just, as fucking misogynist as it may sound, it just kind of seems like it's two very good-looking gals that can be the biggest faces on the poster. Which is kind of, is it like a backhanded way of like attracting casuals? Because you put Victor Henry and a Tatsuro Taira on there for the dudes like me and you who are gonna watch it. And then you put like Alfonso Benefield on there because he might do some wild shit.
I think the UFC, like, as far as your point about them maybe putting two attractive faces on a poster just to kind of like fill space. I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. I
know somebody at the UFC or one part of the UFC team has to be looking at like the sex appeal that they get across over at like BKFC, and a lot of like they got girls like straight up pulling their tits out like after a week.
Yes.
Like, just flashing the entire crowd. And
those were some weird looking Magombos, gonna say that. even with the blur, you can even tell like under that blur something's just not right under there. Like those are some Lara Croft Tomb Raider fucking warlocks under there.
Those were enhanced, definitely. Like that was too perfect of a curve. Like the side boob was impeccable. Like they used a protractor to install those boobies. But
you could tell she got a job on BKFC budget money. You know what I'm saying?
but I've never seen too many instances of the UFC figuring out how to really cash in on any kind of sex appeal aside from just promoting a girl who is attractive. I mean, because we've seen them do that with like the Rachel Ostoviches and the Paige Van Zants of the world and stuff. So it's almost kind of obvious the girls that they're doing that
with. The Jermaine Dermandemies,
but the Jermaine Dermandemies.
But the gal that looks like just derailing your point, but the gal that looks like Rob Schneider, Verna Jandaroba.
How dare you? Bless Verna Jandaroba. No, but I don't see them really taking too many like promotional risks or doing anything outside the box in terms of capitalizing on that sex appeal. At the end of the day, they still just present them as female fighters, and that's it. Like they don't really. I mean, they'll parade their ring card girls around all day and stuff, but they seem to.
Who's your favorite ring card girl?
I'm blanking on her name right now, but it's
put Ariane Celeste aside. Oh yeah,
the
Brooklyn. Isn't it like Brooklyn?
Brooklyn Wren, yeah.
Brooklyn Wren. Yes, very nice. Uh, the Brazilian gal
Mm-hmm.
would not toss her out of bed either.
Mm-hmm.
Ariane Celeste is like, I remember when she left, I just felt so bad.
She
Remember
left.
she took time off for like
Honestly,
having a kid.
I mean, I remember Ariane Celeste and I remember Logan Stanton,
Brittany
but
Palmer.
oh, that's a name I had. That's Mouse like taking a drag off a cigarette. Um,
Yes.
I would say like I never really noticed the ring card. Like I didn't like I just knew Ariane Celeste and Logan Stanton, and this Brooklyn Wren is the first one that I've noticed in years. That's like, oh,
That your
that's a
body
ring card.
noticed.
But other than that, like I couldn't name any other ones. Oh, not that I could think of.
There's an
Yeah, but I can think of
Andrade
names.
gal, the Brazilian gal. Then
I'm a Megan
Brittany.
O'Leary kind of guy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
For Megan
Oh
O'Leary.
yeah, Best of Pride. And isn't or is that's not Cub Swanson's gal. Cub's on this.
Oh no, that's Joseph Benavidez'
Yeah.
wife. Yeah,
I get those two mixed up.
I don't know
Because
who
she
Cub
did Best of
Swanson's
Pride. Cub Swanson's girl did Best of Pride, right?
uh,
Remember ESPN used to have that shit?
Cub Swanson wife.
Yeah. It's
Ken
gonna make me so mad.
Kenda Perez.
Hinda, yeah, heck yeah, Kenda Perez. She used to do Best of Pride.
Oh, now it's Kenda Ray Swanson.
Yeah, but no one fucking dude, because like some of those Pride names are very hard to pronounce.
Oh yeah.
Like they don't seem like they would be, but they're hard to pronounce just because like they don't like fly off the tongue,
Mhm.
you know. And then some of them were like Kevin Randleman versus Igor Vuvchanchan. Like you would have to say it like in a really weird like the difference between the two names.
Yeah.
And she did a very good job.
Like over here stateside, we have. I mean, it's already a big task to pronounce a lot of fighters' names on any given UFC card, especially with the influx of Eastern European fighters and Russian fighters and stuff. But over in Japan, yeah, you're also adding like the breadth of Japanese and
Yeah.
Asian names and stuff. Yeah, which for me, I feel like the Japanese names are never really too tough to pronounce, but I definitely need to hear them first. Usually,
Yes. Uh-huh. No, yeah,
I'm,
good. Well, good
yeah,
point.
I don't want to read them blind off of paper.
And I wish there was more Megan O'Leary and like Laura Senko than DC and Joe Rogan.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's not me saying like, oh, because Joe Rogan's a misogynist or whatever. I love Joe Rogan, and you know, DC was very enjoyable to watch at certain times when he
Hmm.
fought. But I just prefer the way that O'Leary does a good job on the mic, and Laura Senko I think is super good. She would be a good fourth mic.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. DC, I love DC the fighter. I can't stand DC the commentator.
Oh,
He's
he's
one of
getting those jaws wet to talk shit on Charles Oliveira, dude.
We've probably
He's
talked
like,
about it at length, but yeah.
dude, he is at home right now. Like Charles Oliveira can't do it. Charles Oliveira just and I like him. I like Charles Oliveira. I think Charles Oliveira. But when you talk about Islam Makhachev, like you just know he's practicing the side hand, fucking side diss of Charles
Charles Oliver
Oliveira.
doesn't know where he's at right now.
Oh my God, Joe!
He's looking up at the
Yeah.
lights, Joe.
That's just not the best way to go about it, Joe. And now when you're in there with a guy like Islam Makhachev, I would know. Just like take it easy, dude.
Yeah, I didn't. You know what? I hadn't factored that in. I'm not looking forward to him calling.
I already have
280.
and then
Didn't
there's
even think
such
about that.
good fights, fucking wire to wire, amazing. And you're just gonna have to hear fucking Daniel Cormier.
Well,
Oh my God.
let's start off at the top of this card and work backwards with Alexa
Yeah.
Grasso versus Viviane Araujo. Alexa Grasso is 14-3. I believe this is her third fight.
I like
at
Alexa
flyweight.
Grasso. I will say that though. I'm not as well versed with Vivian,
Mhm.
but Grasso's we always put an eye on a Mexican fighter. At least I do.
Yeah, Alexa Grasso, I was kind of underrating her at strawweight because, I mean, strawweight is where all of her losses happened. You know, when she was moving up to flyweight, She was 2-3 in her previous 5 fights, but in retrospect, two of those losses came to Carla Esparza, who's the current champion. So I mean, I got to give her credit for that. Oh, I mean, not get credit, but some slack. And Tatiana Suarez, obviously, she lost to rear naked choke, and that's the only finish of her career. Well, the only time she's been finished. And Tatiana Suarez, I have pegged. A lot of people have pegged for being a future champion if she ever comes back to fight again. But so far, she's undefeated at flyweight with wins over Ji Yeon Kim, Macy Barber, and a really impressive win over Joanne Wood, who might be a little bit washed right now. I think I'm leaning Alexa Grasso. I think Viviane Araujo probably packs more of a punch. I think Alexa Grasso is the cleaner boxer. She has a more polished boxing skill set, whereas Viviane Araujo is more Araujo. Man, I'm going to keep going back and forth on her name all episode.
Yeah.
She has more of that Brazilian Muay Thai style, and she hits hard. She dropped Angela Lee to a knee in her fight right out the gates, and then she got rocked herself ugly with a hook and then a high kick that she just ate clean. So she's durable. She's got a jaw on her, and she can hit hard. But I just don't think that she has the more precise or polished striking skill set to deal with Alexa Grasso. So I think she's going to resort to wrestling. I think she's going to try and take the fight down because I think Viviane Araujo, everyone already is kind of privy to the fact that she doesn't have the greatest gas tank, and this being a 5-round main event, I think that really, really favors Alexa Grasso. I think Viviane Araujo is probably going to start fading, probably before the end of the 3rd round. And that's I'm interested to see where the wrestling is going to come into play. If she's going to be smart and do it early, knowing that she has 25 minutes to work, and try and focus on getting Alexa Grasso on her back and trying to get her out of there early and finishing it maybe with strikes, because I don't think she's going to be able to submit Alexa Grasso. I think Alexa's jiu-jitsu defense is too good for that. So I think Araujo's best bet is to put her on her back early within the 1st or 2nd round and try and finish it by TKO. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think Alexa Grasso will be able to defend the takedowns and get the better of the stand-up fight. And it's going to be a decision, though. That's for sure. This one has decision all over it. There's no way that this one doesn't go to a decision. That's a prop right there. I mean, it's not going to pay much, but yeah.
Yeah, and I could see Vivian getting maybe a check hook or a body shot, and Alexa gets down and she kind of maybe gets it out by strikes. But I don't see a clean, just a flash knockout KO, walk away. But I would have to lean towards a decision for Grasso. I would think that would just kind of pointing her, just some really crispy jab, crispy punches, some leg kicks, and then she's out of there with a nice night out workman performance. I could definitely see that. I think you're right, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Araujo seems really, really. She's down to throw in the pocket too, and she'll stand there. But I think it's the movement that's going to kind of give Grasso the edge too in the stand up. For me, I think the biggest question mark still is just going to be okay, if and when this fight hits the ground. Well, there's the gas. Yeah, that's for sure. It's going to be more of a when and not if. But I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like if it hits the ground early, and to see if Araujo can steal a round or two just with control maybe in the early rounds if she gets it down early. That's the biggest thing where I'm not as confident in because I'm kind of confident in Grasso to defend the takedowns and not let it get to the ground. But if it does get to the ground, I'm curious to see how well Grasso does at getting back up and getting back to her feet. So
yeah, and it always kind of seems like in WMMA the takedowns don't carry as much weight as far as decision based as they do in when the males are in there. Am I wrong for saying that? Do you think?
No, not completely off base. I wouldn't say.
Just whenever, I guess this is just me saying it. Not so much. There's no science based, or I can't really point to any freaking like 1 or 2 fights, but it just seems like in a male fight, you see, especially in a male and with the bigger guys, for females, these gals are mid size. I guess you would say
Yeah.
like mid size for females, but
Uh-huh.
whatever the male version of what would the male version of this weight class be if you could like would it be like more like a middleweight welterweight
Oh,
type?
I see what you mean. I would say welterweight.
Yeah, so like if you see like a welterweight guy, in the third round, it's maybe 1-1. It's in the third round, and then a guy gets a good takedown. It may be like 1 or 2 submissions. I think in the same exact thing, if it's WMA, I think the males get the points more so on the scorecards, and that's just me anecdotally noticing that from data chunking tons of fights that I've seen.
I can
Where it
pick up
just
what
seems
you're
like that.
what you're throwing
You see-
down.
yeah.
Because I think when a fight goes to the ground in WMMA, unless I know that one girl is like a way better grappler and possesses way more of an offensive jiu-jitsu threat, then
Yeah.
I'm not generally concerned with like, oh, this fight's going to end via TKO because this other girl's
Okay.
like her.
Yeah.
I'm even trying to think right now, like what girl is known for their ground and pound specifically. And I mean, I could name a few,
Yeah.
like Erin Blanchfield,
Right.
Tatiana Suarez, and
Yes.
basically the wrestlers, Casey O'Neill. They're out there, but I'm not like
Andrade is just a mean little
Andrade.
fuck. Just that's just like a given, just a mean little fuck.
I forgot. I can't believe I didn't call her name first.
Yeah.
So
Just
but-
a pit bull on a toddler type of fucking level of just ownership.
yeah,
Just
but-
that classic matchup.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying though. Yeah, because across the board, I'd be more concerned about like, oh, they're just going to rack up control time than worry about
Yeah.
like the damage, like the round stealing damage that they're going to inflict if they get a takedown.
Yeah, and it just always seems like if a guy like middleweight, welterweight type wrestler, it just looks a little it just can't no sexism or anything behind this. It's just a welterweight male fighter or a strawweight female fighter, the wrestling version of it when they take them down, and it just seems like the dude's scoring more to a judge's eye for whatever reason. And call me an idiot, I am, but it just seems like that to me.
No. I meant no, as for the calling.
No,
part.
you see how you're an idiot. Clearly.
No, and yeah, I'll echo what you said. Like no sexism at all or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely not.
But I wouldn't pay for WMMA. Pay to watch women fight. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And you know what? We didn't even mention the age difference, which I think
Yeah.
is
Oh,
worth
yeah.
mentioning.
Good point, dude.
Araujo is 35, 6 years older than Alexa Grasso, who's coming in at 29. And if I would have guessed, I would have thought Alexa Grasso was in her early 30s already too.
Yeah.
But she's still relatively young, especially for the division. So
They're both too old for me. If we're just being, let's throw a little. Okay, so previous comment, no sexism. This comment, ton of it. They're both too old for me.
save your money.
Get them out of here.
Alexa Grasso coming in as the slight favorite at minus 190. Araujo plus 155 is a slight underdog. I would say when we talked about how this wasn't really necessarily a super appealing main event, I think what just barely edges it out, or how this fight barely edges it out, I think Askarov versus Brandon Royval could have been the main event. Also a little bit of a hard sell, and it's not too many casual fans who are gonna like really get on board with either of those names either. But I think if Askarov wasn't coming off of that loss to Kaikara France, then there would probably be much more title implications on that fight.
And it wasn't just a loss; it was a strikingly bad loss for a fight where I thought he could have won.
Mhm.
But I will talk about it. But
Yeah, and if he had been coming off of that, fight with a win, and then able to get
not
another
even
win
so
over,
much a win, maybe just a better performance. You know.
yeah. But right now, I would say with a win here over Araujo, people are going to start talking about Alexa Grasso as a contender for Valentina Shevchenko's title. I think that it's a bit soon. I mean, she's got 4 decent wins at flyweight. I guess I've been selling her short, I guess, because I mentioned that I was a little bit down on Alexa Grasso as she was leaving strawweight. I wasn't necessarily expecting her to make a splash at flyweight, but she has. So I guess it's always going to feel too soon for a fight with Valentina Shevchenko for me. What do you think about her chances in a fight with the Queen at flyweight?
If she was to get into, oh man,
because I think if Manon Fiorot comes up short against Caitlin Chikagian, then maybe that doesn't go anywhere in terms of title implications, and then they turn and look towards Alexa Grasso to fill that spot. So
we're talking Grasso wins.
If Grasso wins, she has a dominant showing, maybe gets a finish.
I would say she would, and Chikagian, and the fight on 280, the gals fighting in 280 just kind of throws up a dud, and then her chances in a fight against Shevchenko would be pretty. I mean, anybody, like anyone else. I don't think it would be any different. Really, she doesn't have the tools to stop what Shevchenko is going to do. Very few people on the planet do. So
maybe in a pure boxing match, she could get some runs. But aside from that, it's hard to imagine.
She's not going to look out of place. It's not going to look like a fucking straight up, just like beat down. But she's not going to look like she doesn't deserve to be in there. Mm-hmm. But she for sure won't. It'll be another sneaky win where you thought Grasso did enough. Like how many times I think we've broken down 2 Shevchenko fights, and every time I'm just enraged on Sunday morning, and then I get on the pod with you Monday or Tuesday night, and I'm like, yeah, okay, calm down. Like, she won, but one of those deals, I think it would be the same, the same fucking result,
Yeah, I think I would be much more excited if we knew, or if they were kind of giving some signs that they were probably going towards the winner of this fight fighting the winner of Chikagian and Fiorot, because I feel like even if Fiorot wins, she's probably going to get the title shot, and I would prefer to see her get one more fight in before she fights Shevchenko, because right now for either girl, if the stars line up and they get that fight with Shev, I shouldn't even say the stars line up. I mean, it's not get a handful of wins at flyweight, you'll get your fight with Shevchenko. So, but I think, one more fight out of both of them, because I don't think either of them are ready to prevent Shevchenko from getting that 8th ruby on her belt or whatever it is now. Is it 7 or 8? It's got to be 8 because
yeah.
So let's move on. Let's get your pick or your breakdown for Jonathan Martinez and Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson coming off of his win over Darren Elkins.
Big time Cub Swanson fan. I mean, just the OG, triple OG. Seen the guy fight live in the blue cage, but it's just hard when you make that move down at his age. When you're making the move down in weight, you would kind of want him to see him take on maybe someone not as skilled as Martinez is. Maybe he's not a household name. That's kind of like a Jag kind of name, like just another guy name. But he's skilled, and he can definitely, and especially for a guy like Cub Swanson who's moving down in weight, and it's going to be his first fight at this weight, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's his first.
As far, I would have to. I can check to make sure.
But it would have been nice to see him maybe fight. I don't want to say can, but maybe pad his record in this weight division instead of kind of take on a guy who's like an up and comer or someone who's just more than game, So I think he's going to have a hard time. I think Martinez is going to get the win here.
It's a tough one, looking at Cub Swanson's record, dating back to if we go back to like 2017, anytime he's kind of had that step up in competition, he's kind of falling a bit short. He failed the Giga Chikadze test. Shane Burgos back in 2019. That was a close fight, a split decision.
Two names. Those are some wild ass motherfuckers to fight against. Not like he fought just some Dana White Contender Series dudes. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been fighting the best that the division has to offer. Renato Moicano, Frankie Edgar, Brian Ortega, the GOAT, Artem Lobov, Duho Choi,
the Hammer,
Tatsuro Kawajiri. He fought Tatsuro Kawajiri in 2016. I don't even remember that.
And that Kawajiri, that's Bone. Was it Bone Crusher? Right?
Yeah, and that was in the UFC Fight Night 92.
Man, I used to watch Kawajiri fight in Dream, dude. That guy was the bone crusher, dude. That guy was fucking wild.
But yeah, I think the youth of Jonathan Martinez is probably going to carry him over here. I think it's a little bit. I think right now, to kind of go back to what you said about Cub Swanson and the way that they should be matching him up right now, I feel like this would be a good opportunity to run it back with Frankie Edgar, especially since Cub Swanson's coming down to the bantamweight division. Maybe have him match up with another guy who was fighting at featherweight previously, because this is for another fight that potentially could have been the main event over what we ended up getting. This is a little bit too much of a squash match for me on paper. I think I'm gonna go with agree with you and go Jonathan Martinez hard here.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't say that lightly. Like again, we talked about Kenda Perez, friend of the show, the host of the now defunct Best of Pride. Has a beautiful family with Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson, great tattoos, just a great look. Eastern Promises looking motherfucker all the way.
Underrated hair.
Yeah. He's just someone you would definitely see would be like a bartender in Brooklyn. But man, yeah, it's just hard when you get to his age and you're moving around in weight and then you're in the UFC, and Martinez doesn't sound like a name like he's taken on before, but maybe that's not such a good thing in this case. So and we could be coming back next week like, damn, Cub, why'd you have to do him like that, bro?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Would not be shocked. And would be happy. Would actually be happy because I don't really care for Joe Martinez. Like Martinez, have a great job, dude. Hopefully you get a bonus of some kind. Career moves up. Good for you, dog. But it's just one of those things where
and when we're sitting here trying to analyze fights and really kind of come at it from a perspective of like what is this going to do for this fighter, how is this going to position them in their division and moving forward, and is it going to propel them into contendership, or I like to talk about how I prefer fights to have stakes on them. This is also not one that I'm expecting Martinez to get a ton of rub from Cub Swanson. Like we can analyze that and say like, oh, the veteran Cub Swanson will be a good name on his resume, but I think it's a little late for that. It's certainly not bad. It's going to be a quality win, but I don't think it's going to do anything to land Jonathan Martinez on the map. And that's not a diss to Jonathan Martinez either or Cub Swanson. It's just more a shot at the matchmaking, I guess. These Apex cards. I mean, this would be a perfectly serviceable prelim, like showcase fight or main event on the prelim.
Yeah, it's just, I guess Cub Swanson just does have that name appeal, though. He's had some fucking wars, some amazing He's taken some crazy. I mean, like it or not, he's on some highlight reels for the wrong reasons of a lot of like Hall of Fame type dudes. So he's just a household name,
I would love to. I saw this, stumbled upon this video on YouTube that was like can you name these UFC fighters? And it was just like a quiz video where the fighter's image will pop up for like 5 seconds and then their name will pop up.
And then everybody says Eddie Wineland whenever they see Cub Swanson.
Well, it was super easy. Well, for me, I probably got like 95% of them, and it was like a 10-minute video, so they circled through quite a few. And I was watching, but it was like super difficulty mode, and it wasn't hard at all. But it made me wonder and look at some of the fighters that were on that list, and it made me think, like, I wonder if we could poll current UFC fans or survey them, like, I wonder what percentage of current fans right now, or let's say just everybody who was going to watch this card could pick Cub Swanson out of a lineup, or similar questions. It doesn't even need to specifically be about Cub Swanson. But
he's had a few different looks, like if you just like looking at the dude, he's gone through like phases, right?
Has he though?
It's from his,
I feel like it's just always been like bald Cub Swanson or like super clean cut Cub Swanson. Like,
yeah,
and I mean,
he throws in that like Doc Holliday, kind of like Val Kilmer and Tombstone look every now and then. But then that's where you get like the Eddie Wineland comparison.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Did he? Cub Swanson have a twirly mustache?
Yeah, he had a twirly mustache at one point.
I forgot about that. And then there was definitely like pre palm trees Cub Swanson before he got like all of his tattoos.
He'd be a hella cool. He's a father. He'd be a hella cool dad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Be an asset to have in the gym too.
Really
experience that.
Oh yeah, dude. That guy could tell you some fucking stories, dude.
Let's go on down the card and talk Askar, Askarov, Brandon Royval. Before I ask you who your pick is in this fight, I want to ask who you're rooting for in this fight.
I'm rooting for the deaf guy.
For the deaf
Askar,
guy?
Askarov. Yeah, he's deaf. You didn't know that?
Askar Askarov is deaf.
Askar Askarov? What? You didn't know that he's deaf?
I did not know that he was deaf.
He was born deaf.
The frantic Googling intensifies.
Yeah, but no, I'm rooting for him. He's a mean fuck.
Shit. He only has about 20% hearing capacity in both ears. Son of a bitch! I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was just a random one in the Kai Kara France lead up where it was like, oh, huh, okay, which is like, I just didn't know that, and someone made a stupid off-color joke about that, like, is it hard for him because even if it was in the apex or wherever, like, he just can't hear his corner, or like it's harder to get the point across, like his coaching. But it's like, no, well, he's grown up like that. And like, as someone who, my late grandma, she worked with people with disabilities, and I remember when I would talk with her, she worked with deaf, blind, and people with mental challenges, and the deaf people, they don't like being talked like in that, like, as a handicap. They actually think of it as like it's actually an advantage to me, because you don't know what I'm saying to these people, you don't know what they're saying to me, and so you can't really hear what I'm like, my strategy. I can like outwardly kind of go over what I'm communicate, where you don't know what I'm saying, where my corner can hear what you're saying and hear what you're saying in your corner and relay that to me. But someone just made an off-color joke about it, about like, oh, well, if he would have been listening a little more to his corner, he maybe would have got won that decision against Kai Kara France. I just remember thinking, like, that's fucked up. That's a fucked up thing to say. I'm not going to say the gentleman's name on mic, but MMA guru, you're a dick.
I was thinking about what you were saying about how people who are deaf don't like consider themselves to be.
They don't. Yeah, they hate it. They don't like being treated like they're handicapped. And like, I was very young too. I was like 7 or 8 years old, and then my grandma would go to Fellowship Center for the blind, and they had blind and deaf people there, and the deaf people would sign into like the blind people's hands, and then they can so I was like watching someone who couldn't see signing into like a deaf person's hand, and they were talking to each other, and I was just like, what in the world? And I remember being 9 years old, like, what is this? But my grandma just saying, and I go, oh, I remember saying something about, well, that's crazy that they're handicapped. And she's like, they don't consider themselves handicapped. Like, they actually consider themselves like super. Some of them are like, there's like an arrogance to it too, like where like deaf people look down on other deaf people that get like the cochlear implants to like hear better.
Wow.
Like they don't even want. They're
gatekeeping.
They gatekeep other deaf. That's not even a joke. They gatekeep the other deaf people.
They'd be like, hey, deaf people, how about communicating without direct line of sight?
Yeah.
Checkmate, deaf people.
Well, no, because then
I'm not even going to apologize about that comment. You know why? Because they're not going to hear it.
Yeah, and so someone's on fucking. Well, we're on YouTube, so they could fucking
Some
look
captions.
at the fucking the captions and shit. They're like, "That guy's a fucking sucker." Just looking at his wife, like I'm not. Like, imagine if like one of the 12 people that watches this is deaf, and like we're gonna only see like 13 views now. Like, what happened to that 14th view we got?
We won't notice it missing because we're blind.
So to our one reader, you know, I love you. I grew up as someone who was a big fan of the deaf community, and I respect you. Kenny, not so much.
Yeah, this is the voice of Brandon and Hal, by the way, and I don't respect you. I don't care about you at all.
So they don't even know which one's which. I'm like, Brandon gained weight.
Can you describe them for me so I can tell them?
Yeah.
Big guy, like
the one eating the pizza is a piece of shit. The one that was eating a pizza on a podcast is a piece of shit.
Oh man, if we have any deaf fans,
sound off in the comments because we're not going to be able to understand that.
Sound off. I was going to say I'd be kind of impressed if we did have any deaf fans because it just
that would be sick.
How do you fall ass backwards into being a fan of ours when you can't even hear our voices?
Oh man. Okay.
I think where the apology should go is to any of our listeners who have like a deaf son or daughter, obviously.
Yeah.
Fucking shout out to you.
But they could listen to it in the car and not have to worry about like offending their kid.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But I'm taking Askarov in this one. Big fan of his.
I'm taking Askar
you look at
also.
If you were to look at his resume of fights, and he only has the one loss, and the one loss was barely even a loss. He took Brandon Moreno to a fucking draw. Like, come on now. Like,
a split
that's
draw.
Fucking that's fucking world class competition now. And like his resume just got better. It did. Some guys who have a resume like where they're like 14-1, 12-2, 16-1. Their resume and you see some like a guy like Khabib's resume kind of isn't as good anymore as it was, when he beat Michael Johnson. It was like, goddamn, now it's like, oh yeah, he beat Michael Johnson. I was talking to him. That highlight's not as good anymore. Whereas fucking a guy like Askarov's resume right now is very good,
top tier,
very good.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and he's a mean fuck. He really is a mean fuck. And I remember everyone saying that the Kai Kara France fight was like super close and it was a robbery, but no, it wasn't. So.
Yeah, looking at his record right now, just the Joseph Benavidez win, Alexandre Pantoja back in 2020.
Pantoja is wild. I mean, right now, it's hard pressed to find. Like we were just talking about it. He was on the Moreno card. Pantoja's one of the top 3 fighters in that division. Like if you're just to watch it, and Askarov can only really watch. He's not going to hear it. So, if you're to tell anybody like, goddamn, dude, you beat Pantoja, took Moreno to a split draw. A lot of people thought you beat Kai Kara France. Like, what are we even talking? What are we doing here?
Yeah, Askarov was well on his way to a title shot if he would have got that.
The Kai Kara France loss. Kai Kara France fucking got such a huge rub off of beating Askarov.
Yeah. I would say to give Brandon Royval some edge here to kind of acknowledge like his traits. I would say that Brandon Royval has more of the difference making power. I think that it would be to his benefit if he can keep the fight standing, keep it on the feet. He's definitely a lot wilder than Askarov. Like Askar he's a dog, but he's going to like find his openings and be a lot more patient and reserved and not just unleash at anything you give him. Brandon Royval is definitely the more fan-friendly fighter, I think. And I'll kind of be rooting for Brandon Royval going into this fight, but I'm picking Askarov. I think it would be a tremendous win for Brandon, especially coming off of a 2-fight win streak right now. But I think that the more calm, measured approach of Askarov and the and the advantage that he's going to have if this fight ends up in the clinch or goes to the ground, edge to Askarov there too. And I think that's generally where it's going to play out, probably a little later in the fight.
This really should have been the fucking main event, dude. Let's just call it what it is. Really. You got a guy that submitted Kaikar France. You know what I mean? You got a guy that beat Alexandre Pantoja. Like, what are we doing here? These guys should be the fuck. And then their records are both very good records against and guys who fought everybody. They both fought Pantoja. This is such a wild division, really, when you start looking it up and down. God damn.
And Brandon Royval is so fan friendly. He's so excited.
Yeah.
His fight with Rogerio Bontorin was amazing. That
was one of my favorite fights in the Good point, dude. Yes,
it's listed as like the 26th best MMA fight of the year for 2022, and that's even another one where it's like
that's a slight. That could have been a lot higher in my book, dude.
Yeah, really impressive guillotine choke over Matt Schnell earlier in the year in May. So yeah, it's like we're both picking Askarov, and
Schnell just had a good win himself not too long ago. So.
Yeah, and I know we both sound like very confident about our picks in Askarov, and we are. You know, I picked him for a reason. I've kind of been thinking about it all week.
He's very good, dude. He's very good.
That's like it should be a close fight. I don't think definitely not picking him to smoke Brandon Royval or blow him out of the water or anything like that.
I just don't know why the UFC just doesn't. Why they don't just put it at, and then Taira and the. Why does it have to be like? Just to embrace that, like, you do have hardcore fans. You do have, like, you have a card coming up. That's just fucking do it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Why not?
I love the way you put that. Like, hardcore fans do exist.
Yeah, we're here. We're not just like mythical fucking.
Yeah. And you are like you are putting these fights on, so you might as well like go to that extra mile for the people who are going to get invested in that. Who you can kind of like. I don't know. You could always kind of like pull more people over to the hardcore side, but they don't make their money off the hardcore dollar. So,
but that's the thing, though, is like they don't. But do they not? Did they try making their money off the hardcore dollar? It didn't work out, so now they do the Alexa Grasso main event, or do they just overthink it and play it safe?
I think it's a long-term investment to try and engage the hardcore dollar. If we're going to keep calling it the hardcore dollar. Yeah. Because you make a great point there about like, well, then you get situations like this where you have Grasso versus Araujo main eventing, and fights like that are a lot easier to sell when you're trying to appeal more towards hardcores, I guess, because I mean, I could say if you really forced me to, like, I'd be like, yeah, sure, Grasso versus Araujo is the best fight on this card. Yeah. One of these girls is going to be a champion a lot sooner than anyone else on the card.
That's true. Hey, one of these gals is like a lot closer to a championship fight. Like you said, if things go sideways with Chukagian and Dumont, then one of the gals can get a championship fight. Where if Brandon Royval or Askarov wins, they're probably 2 or 3 fights away from 2 or 3 Figueiredo Moreno fights away from a fucking championship fight. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe. I mean, I can believe it. Obviously, we've known that's what it's going to be for a while, but we're getting the tetralogy, the 4th fight.
Yeah, that's consecutive, and I'm down for it.
Oh, wait, not consecutive. Not consecutive.
No, absolutely not. Because Brandon Moreno just liver kicked Kaikar France.
Yeah.
His career is like he's arguably one of the better strikers on the planet. Is like probably like thinking about what the fuck am I going to do with my career? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Moreno just did that to Kaikar France.
Levels. All right, let's move on down the fight card a little bit. Stop at another fight that I wanted to touch on. Victor Henry versus Rafael Assuncao. We were both really impressed by Victor Henry's debut. Not a guy who was on my radar. I took a peek at his record before that fight with Raoni Barcelos, and I saw that he was doing work over in Ryzen, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. And I guess is what also...
That's always such a crazy... Whenever I see that on somebody's resume, I always go like, oh, hey. I don't know why. What is that? What is that about it?
There's obviously the unknown. There's the opportunity for us to fill in the blanks with whatever narrative that we want.
Yeah, we want, and just like say, oh, Ryzen. Yeah.
It's like white guy fighting in Ryzen. One, really loves Japan. I don't know. Two, catch wrestler. I don't really know how to quantify that in 2022. I don't really know. I didn't do my due diligence for that first fight. But either way, even if I had, I was still going to be surprised at what he did to our boy Raoni Barcelos. Who's
Raoni Barcelos. Fight Plug. In line for Fight Plug ball washing whenever his name comes up. And for Victor Henry to, and that was his debut. You know what I'm saying? That's what trips me out. It always trips me out because, we had mentioned before, like Tatsuro Taira's on here, 22 years old. He had to fight. Was it Carlos Candelario? Which is not. That's a rough night out for anybody, let alone a 22-year-old making their fucking first appearance in the UFC.
Yeah.
You got a guy like Victor Henry, who, his first fight was against like literally someone who's going to come out within this year, should fight for a championship if the trend continues. And then you get guys like Paddy Pimblett or Sean O'Malley, and like who are these guys fighting? And then what have they done besides they kind of look cool when they do it? What have they done to really like get these? So that's what frustrates me. It's what really frustrates me about it. We talk about it every fucking, like the Arman Sarukian school of fucking UFC career arcs, The
school
like why do these guys have to do that? Habib did the same thing, and then they got Magomed Ankalaev, right? Who's that Dagestani who went to Britain or was in the UK? He's 22 years old. He gets the fucking can type. Like if you go on like Magomed Ankalaev's Tapology or Sherdog, those guys even like put little asterisks next to some of their wins because they're like, this was kind of like a way over the top padding of fucking their resume.
Yeah.
Habib did the same thing. Islam Makhachev did the same thing. So it's just like, what the fuck? Why do they do that to these guys? It's so crazy. That's one thing I will never understand about the UFC. I just don't understand that. Why a guy like Paddy Pimblett can get a Jordan Levitt on a huge scale when a guy like Victor Henry has to fight Raoni Barcelos at such a young age for his debut.
Yeah, especially when like some of the guys that you're making like crawl through razor wire are more than capable of being very exciting, engaging fighters that will get your fans watching, but you just need to do a little bit of the work to kind of like put that narrative out there, to talk about Arman Sarukian or any other example of the dozens of guys who all,
and it's like just they don't move the needle though. It's like, well, you're the one that makes the needle. Why don't you move it? Like, why is it my job? Like, what the fuck? That's the dumbest fucking thing.
Yeah, and like, there's a lot of people who are really ready to call, like, to give the UFC a lot of credit for like creating stars, and it's like they've never. I can't think of. Someone's asked me this question before, and I can't think of any star that the UFC's created. Every star that's ever been in the UFC is a star because of their own work, like the things that they've said, the promos that they've cut. Like the UFC has a lot of failed experiments. I would say like one of the only ones that is potentially a home run, like super manufactured, and is probably going to work out for them, and like all because of their own credit, their own work, is our boy Alex Pereira. If he ends up winning that fight with Israel Adesanya, because I mean, it was, even then it's the work that Alex Pereira did outside of the UFC that really earned him that opportunity, but even then, like, that's one instance where they're like, look, there's this other guy out there who beat Izzy. He wants to transition to MMA. Let's scoop him up and let's give him the easiest path to the title, and let's see if we can make something out of it. And it seems like so far they've managed to do that. But there's been so many other experiments, like your Sage Northcutts and your Paige Van Zants, and just any number of even your Kron Gracies. Like people, they think that they're going to like put this promotional push on, and they just can't control the outcome of these
There's
fights.
A lot more Sage Northcutts than there are fucking, like, goddamn, like, now why is the names escaping me? There's a lot more Sage Northcutts than there are like Bryce Mitchells or guys like that who like, and I think they do put a lot behind Bryce Mitchell now, but that guy just is the opposite of a Sage Northcutt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I just feel like at the end of the day, like, it's still the things that Bryce Mitchell says or decides to say.
Right.
If Bryce Mitchell was a shy white kid who didn't say much and didn't have anything to say, and he was into the exact same things, he just didn't have any shit to talk or anything like that, and he wasn't like all gung ho about like America first and like have to rip my gun out of my cold dead hands. Right. I don't think anything that the UFC could do is going to get him over, or at least as far as like their usual playbook, because it's more of a like, you got to say what you have to say to get them to turn the mics and the cameras towards you, and then you have to make it happen from that point forward.
Good point, man.
Unless you're Terrence McKinney. Unless you're Terrence McKinney, and you're just yelling out into the void, calling out Paddy Pimblett, and like literally everybody like who's an employee of the UFC is just going to pretend you don't exist.
Yeah, that's true. Or who could, like, is like a Shavkat Rachmanov, just couldn't get through an episode without talking about him. But like, will they, if he beats, because they put him in there with
Jeff Neal.
Hands of Steel. Yes, thank you. Jeff Hands of Steel Neal. If he beats Hands of Steel, do they put the mics on Shavkat? And does it turn into like a full court press to like push him forward as the mythical unicorn guy?
I guess I don't have a very good read on how popular Jeff Neal is. I would just assume that he's not, or the UFC would deem him
every chance you get, man, to hate on Jeff Hands of Steel.
No. I'm completely on the Jeff Neal bandwagon right now, dude. You've got me. I'm drinking the juice. I would just venture to say that, like, I'd imagine the UFC probably looks at a Jeff Neal and thinks like, he doesn't move the needle for us right now.
Yeah,
but that big win that he got off of Vicente Luque, like, if you're going to try and put Shavkat over on Jeff Neal, which I don't even necessarily know that that's what they're planning to do, because they might think that Jeff Neal has that fight. But if they're going to use him to give Shavkat the rub, there's no better time to do it than now, because that's just the highest profile fight that Jeff Neal can be coming off of at that division, especially among guys who don't like to fight down in the division or are all currently booked up right now. That's the time to do it. And
they booked themselves. They booked themselves out of a Shavkat Rachmanov fight. It's like, hey, Wonder Boy, talking about you there, big dog. The fuck?
I think it's one of those deals where, because with Shavkat, I think the only way that they probably know how to promote him is building him up to fight some other boogeyman in the division, because just off of his name alone, they're probably not anticipating that they're going to move a lot of tickets with Shavkat.
Yeah.
Just, because he's famous or because of anything quote worthy that he said. But if there's an exciting fight for him in the division there, which there's not anymore because Khamzat's going up to middleweight. But
this is the portion of like our fandom that always gets me, because we're talking about it right now and we're talking about it like, oh, well, just everybody understands that this is how it is. But then like we were just talking about the Nate Diaz Tony Ferguson fight, where everybody was saying, yeah, that Swedish guy just did not want to fight Nate Diaz. And it's just like, well, shit, I forgot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So like, they don't talk about MMA at my barber shop, so I don't get a feel for it. You know what I mean? I don't have too many places to kind of like get a sense of what other than Instagram, but I don't want to go off of Instagram because anyone could fucking say anything on Instagram. I want to know what someone would say, what someone's MMA opinions are.
Yeah,
to your
in
face.
the last few months, I have like what you said, barbershop. That's a good example where like everybody was just like, yeah, fucking no one wants to fight Nate Diaz. I don't blame whatever this fucking Russian guy. And then the dude at work that was calling Khamzat like this Swedish dude who can't even make weight, just had just did not want a part of this mythical gangster who's like the hardest fucking guy to beat in UFC history.
That guy thinks that Nate Diaz is hunting down that Stockton serial killer right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And so it's it's like it's like, damn, dude, I forgot. Like, that's the majority of who will pay to watch. You know what I mean? Like, those guys the guys that said Khamzat's just some dumb Swedish guy who's scared of Nate Diaz, and the barbershop full of dudes who like love Nate Diaz because he comes out to Tupac, will actually like put their money together and pay to watch it. And it's like, oh shit.
Or even the rocker fools who get down with Nick and Nate Diaz because they would walk out to Deftones and stuff too.
Oh yeah, Metal Militia.
Yeah, dude, so many demographics covered. Yeah. So smart. Yeah, Tatsuro Taira is gonna have to work really hard to get that same kind of audience engagement.
Yeah, I will be very much engaged watching this fight with this guy. We were I don't know. Again, you're eating a pizza, so I don't know if what we were talking about will get put into it. But again, sound off in the comments your favorite frozen pizza. Mine, Red Baron, Brick Oven, 3 cheese. I'm not even a cheese pizza guy. Red Baron, Brick Oven, 3 cheese as an appetizer with little chips and salsa before you get down on some tri-tip or whatever have you. Very good. Brick Oven, 3 cheese with some salt and pepper wings, bone in. Come on, what are we doing here? Are we talking about DiGiorno? Get out of here, dude.
Talking about DiGiorno, B?
We're talking about some DiGiorno right now, B? Are you fucking watching commercials in 2003?
Yeah, you put me on to some game. Let us know. We need to know where everybody stands, so we can get a frozen pizza sponsorship. Yeah.
That's going on the next Instagram poll. So when we post this episode on Instagram, there will be a poll of sound off favorite frozen pizza.
We need a fourth. So we're talking DiGiorno, Red Baron. I guess we'll throw a Tombstone on there.
No, don't. Absolutely not.
I'm not super familiar.
What is that one?
The Italian guy, the one tossing the
the
cartoonish one.
Frozen pizzas.
Is it Papa somethings?
No. So there's DiGiorno, Red Baron. There's that one. It's in the yellow. There's the California Pizza Kitchen one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Frozen pizzas.
If we can get 4 that don't have like a brick and mortar like storefront deal.
It's Screaming. What is it? Screaming Sicilian. Right. Totino's. There's Totino's. Tony's, yeah, Tony's, right? That shit's
Of course,
trash.
Tony's.
Don't throw Tony's in there. Okay, so can we? So you've got to have a Costco membership, but a Kirkland frozen pizzas is pretty good. Pretty good too.
It's behind a paywall, but I'll put it on there. I'm
Yeah,
interested.
it's like a paywall deal. So, but I think
the Patreon pizzas over here.
Yeah, that's the Patreon pizza. But okay, so I just said, but like no one's gonna do it, and like it's very very sophisticated palate like mine. The best frozen pizza is the California Pizza Kitchen barbecue chicken.
Oh
yes.
Not a big fan of barbecue chicken pizza in general.
Yeah.
But I've never had the CPK frozen pizzas though.
They invented the barbecue chicken. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, I have them to blame then.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's not going on there. So let's just do.
No, well, we can go with the brand. We don't. Obviously, I'm not going to go with a specific type of pizza. So it would be.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So CPK versus Tombstone versus DiGiorno versus Tony's.
Yeah.
Or Red Baron.
No, Tony's. So Screaming Sicilian is one that I've seen a lot of. I've never had it, so.
Neither have I.
But that's why you got to let us know which one should we put up against Tony's, Kirkland, DiGiorno, and Red Baron. And if you're watching the fights, and you're going to a frozen pizza, which one do you do? My combo, as said before, is 3 Trees Brick Oven.
What are we trying to kill time?
No, I'm not. Lemon pepper wings. This is important. Lemon pepper bone-in wings, and some Coke Zero.
I like to go with a blank DiGiorno pizza, pepperoni, and add on some fresh mushrooms and olives, some sliced olives.
Oh.
And I don't really get too more wild after that, but I like to dress it up a little bit. I like to throw some, if I have some pickled jalapenos, and I'll throw some pickled jalapenos in there, then throw it in the oven. Because that's, to me, frozen pizzas are just like a blank canvas.
Blank canvas for you? Wow. See, I don't do that. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Wow. Is it really amazing, though?
It's not. Open up a can of fucking mushrooms.
It's the reason we went no cameras with this podcast.
Yeah. Exactly, dude.
It's the reason that I will not be looking like Tatsuro Taira anytime soon. I mean, aside from the fact that I'm not a Japanese man. But let's get back to this one, because we're both kind of excited for this fight in particular. This is the second fight of the night. Tatsuro Taira had a really, really strong showing against Carlos Candelario. Wild fighter. Really kind of reminds us of his age. He's 22 years old. And he's fighting CJ Vergara, who comes in at 31 years old. 11-0 for Tatsuro and 10-3 for CJ Vergara. CJ is the plus 195 underdog, and is coming off of a win over Clayton Rodriguez. That was a split decision win. Excuse me.
CJ's a good fighter.
He's not a bad fighter. Do you see, whether or not, like, regardless of who you're picking to win here, do you see this one going the distance?
No. Absolutely not. I think that if you look at Taira's his background, and it was something I had brought up in the pre-fight or the pre-pod kind of hang we have. This guy, like, anybody's style is to beat the fuck out of you standing up and then choke you out as you're falling to the ground. Mm-hmm. Like, you're a mean motherfucker. Like, you're never looking. Like, peace is never an option if that's what you want to do. And this guy's, out of the 11 fights, what he's done that 9 times out of the 11 times he's fought, or 8 or 9 times, where he just beats you to a pulp while you're standing up, and then you're like leaning and falling down on yourself in the cage, and then he grabs you on your way down and chokes you as you fall. Like, he doesn't just let you fall. He fucking chokes you as you're going down. That's pretty psycho.
The
And
killer instinct on Tatsuro Taira is second to none.
And then if you just watch, so if you're on this podcast or you've been listening to this particular podcast to this point, then you guys kind of maybe trust what we say. Just go and watch one of his fights and just pretend in your head that this guy's been fighting in the UFC for 5 years now. He looks like he's been in like every bit of those fights. Like he's just super fucking, as crazy as we're making him sound, he looks very polished and very clean for a 22-year-old fighter in his set, like just his movements, his mannerisms, his gait, the way he walks. Like it's the eye test, the fight plug eye test. This young Japanese gentleman passes it on my end.
I'm excited for him, and I'm excited to see him continue to do what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Because he only stands to add even more depth to this flyweight division, which isn't starving, but is getting more and more exciting, because after we come off of this quadrilogy or tetralogy or whatever, like people are going to start looking to further in the division for where's the next, the next big rivalry coming in. And I'm not saying that Tetsuro's anywhere near there. But he's if he ends up on a 2-fight win streak here, getting this win in an exciting way, I think people will notice, because he's a unique, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of Japanese fighters in the UFC, and he is a particular type of Japanese fighter. Like, I don't know, something about his personality. He seems like a child. Like, I'm more I mean, he's older by 5 years than Raul Rosas, but I almost I look at him and he seems like a kid to me. Like in that same, I had that same energy from Tatsuro. My only hold up on him, or my only worry, is just that, for one, I mean, I've only seen his previous fight. I haven't seen his other work, but he looked amazing. I just worry that we might find out, or come to find out in a future matchup, that, like a lot of other Japanese fighters who have primarily fought in Japan only and then made the jump over to the States, that he could end up matched up against a guy who will tell us that, he has a problem with basic American boxing or something like that. What I mean? Shout out to Katsunori Kikuno, where it's like that. I don't know. There could be holes there that we haven't seen, because he hasn't fought the style of fighter that's going to exploit them over there. Sure.
No, that's a great point, man.
And I'm not saying I'm expecting that, and I'm not saying I expect that out of CJ Vergara, even though I think that this is going to be a tough fight. I'm not expecting Tatsuro to steamroll him, but I'd be excited to see if he does. Yeah. But that's my only holdup, is just the unfamiliarity, and not having seen him really get tested yet. That's the problem with undefeated guys. You haven't seen them in trouble.
In the Candelario fight, you could tell he came out kind of like already like a little bit more brash than he really needed to be. Like, it's like, hey guy, this is your first fight. The gentleman you're fighting against here is a legitimate fighter himself. Yeah. And it didn't go quite the way he wanted it to early on, and he had some hiccups, but then he fixed it. For a 22-year-old fight, that's the thing for me, for a guy that young, to really mid-fight. Things aren't going the way that it had gone for you the previous 10 times, and he was still able to like enforce his will on it. Was pretty. That's a pretty good like indicator of like, oh, the dude's emotionally like there in a fight. It's a fucking fight, the dude's emotionally is like emotionally in like has a high emotional intelligence, that whereas some guys, they just kind of, when things don't go the way that it had always gone for them in like the regional scene, or I think he fought in Shuto, which is that's like the one FC regional version, or like, is that like the Japanese version of one FC, and which I not gonna sit here and like go over tell you how much I know about that, because I don't. Yeah, but from what I saw, like his fights went like one of one way, which was he beat the fuck out of you and then choked you to death, and he just wasn't quite getting that in the same result against Candelario, but he fucking found his way through. And for a 22-year-old fighter in his debut, that's pretty awesome.
That's a really good point. Yeah, because there's something to be said for octagon jitters,
right?
Whether or not he had any of those, but then there's also, hey, this is your UFC debut, like you said, and then right off the bat, things aren't going your way to like kind of climb up out of that hole that he may have dug for himself a little early. Yeah, that's definitely a feather in his cap and a strong endorsement on him. Yeah, so I'm tentatively, hesitantly picking Tatsuro Taira. I'm excited for him, and this is going to be one that I'm not going to miss. And I like when a fight, I like when a card has a fight, like a good fight early, that makes me want to tune in like from the get go.
Yeah.
Even if they're spread out a little bit, I like that where it's like give me something to watch early, because if not, if a fight card is pretty barren like early on, that's what makes me end up not tuning in. Like it'll make me miss fights, because I mean we're both hardcore fans. We're willing to sit here and talk about it for hours, every week. But to get that exposure for some fighters that we haven't seen, because I haven't seen every fighter on this card,
right?
And I'm assuming you haven't either. There's a reason we're only talking about a handful of them. But yeah, when you spread it out and there's intriguing fights up and down the card, then I'm more apt to tune in and catch that, and then catch other fights that I wasn't as anticipating as much. So shout out to them for putting this one on early.
Yeah, and we're talking about like who's going to come up in this flyweight division and kind of like continue to push it forward as it kind of fizzles out at the top, which it's stacked, like you said, it's stacked, but not quite as stacked as it's one of those things in the UFC where divisions, they turn around real quick. And so to see like a guy like Taira move up, and then Magomed Ankalaev, I think I'm saying his name correct. We mentioned him earlier. He fights on 280. Those are two dudes, both 22 years old, both phenoms.
Young
could be pushing their way up to the top. So that's pretty exciting to see that this weight division isn't going anywhere.
And that's why we keep mentioning too, when you hear us talk about or breaking down a flyweight or a bantamweight fight, and we mention like, oh, this guy's 37, which doesn't sound ancient, but for this division, for these lighter weight divisions, man, it's up there. Especially
when it's speed, it's so like these guys are fucking fast.
Yeah. And
Moreno has insane fucking power. Figueiredo has insane power, but that fades as you get older.
Yeah, as well as the cardio. I mean, I'm assuming that's one of the things that fades too. So it's like just keeping up that pace. Even if you could still match that pace, can you keep it up for the full 3 rounds or the 5 rounds? And yeah, cool. Let's talk about. I think that's about it as far as fights that I wanted to discuss on the card.
Right. Same. Yeah.
I would say another fight. I'm not going to break it down, but I'll tell people don't miss the Joe Anderson Brito versus Lucas Alexander fight. That one should be a good one. I'm pretty high on Joe Anderson Brito. Let's move on to some of the mixed martial arts news. Some fights that have been booked and finalized. Why am I getting this pop up for Cialis right now?
Was this Cialis? Shout out if you want to sponsor us. Blue Chew or whatever, Tadalafol. I think is it Tadalafol is the active ingredient in Cialis. That's some good shit right there, boys.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it up. Hims, keeps, all that good stuff.
Was this the card that Neil Magny was supposed to fight D-Rod?
Yes, that fight got pulled. I was just looking at it right now. Jared Cannonier versus Sean Strickland was also booked for this card.
This could have been wild.
Yeah.
Strickland, Cannonier, D-Rod Magny, Tatsuro Taira, Askarov.
We're shaping up to be a really good fight.
That could have been a fucking good fucking card, man.
And like we mentioned earlier too, I'm not even necessarily disappointed with this card. I just think it's like it's a hard sell for the casual fan to have Grasso and Araujo on the main event. I mean, I could care less. But
yeah, and the one Nick Maximoff's on here. I mean, we're talking about 209 Gangsters. You know, he had that fucking loss kind of like took the polish off of him, but see how he responds.
Good fight. He's got Jacob Malkoun coming up. How about let's do this? I'm gonna go down the list of fights. Mention the ones we haven't talked about, and you don't have to do any breakdown. Just tell me who you think's gonna win. Just make a pick.
Okay.
Dusko Todorovic versus Jordan Wright.
Jordan Wright.
Middleweight. Misha Serkinov versus Alonzo Minifield.
Alonzo Minifield's going to dance all over Misha Serkinov. It's going to be sad. Because Misha Serkinov's been around. He's gone up and down in weight, right?
He's going back up to the light heavyweight division.
Yeah, and it's just not going to be good. There's something's wrong with him, I think. There's just sometimes fighters they just lose it, and it goes quick. And Misha's been around for a long time, and he's been around for so long. Like, I've looked like a fucking idiot for saying like, "Ooh, Misha Serkinov," and I have won money betting on Misha Serkinov in the past. And so this is someone who, like, I'm speaking as someone who's like unironically watched this guy fight, and then now like the Misha Serkinov I've seen fight since we started this podcast and now. Something's off with this guy. And Minifield is super fucking athletic and very fucking dangerous, and every bit of the size that it's going to be pretty striking. Like, his size is pretty crazy, so that's going to be a fucking train wreck. Yeah. Like a train versus a Jeep. Right?
I see a finish in that fight too. Mana Martinez versus Brandon Davis.
I'm going to take. Well, Brandon Davis is like up and down, but I'm going to take Brandon Davis, though.
Okay.
He's had that's a weird career for that guy.
Nick Maximov. Jacob Malkoun.
I like Jacob Malkoun a lot, but Nick Maximov, I think he might have got humbled a little bit, and so he's ready to kind of jump back on that train that he was on.
Joe Anderson Brito, Lucas Alexander.
Brito.
Piera Rodriguez versus Sam Hughes.
I have absolutely no clue, dude. Go ahead, let me know.
All good. Mike Jackson versus Pete Rodriguez. I haven't watched a Piera Rodriguez fight either, so I can't make a pick for that one.
Yeah. I'll take Jackson.
Right on. Jackson. 1-1 Jackson.
Yeah.
Does it not have that loss overturned? Because he's the guy who... Yeah, he had a no contest against CM Punk because of the positive weed test result.
Yeah. I just remembered him because I was listening. Have you ever, YouTuber, shout out to him, Napoleon Bonaparte. Have you ever seen this guy's documentaries? He did the CM Punk documentary.
Has he ever done any videos on comedians?
Yeah.
He has. Okay, then I think that's where I've heard of him, actually.
Yeah.
Napoleon Bonaparte. It rings a bell, but I can't think of his videos specifically.
Has
he made any videos making fun of Brendan Schaub?
Yes, a very good one.
Okay, I know who he is then.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because, like, I think he's Irish, so like an Irish person narrating things or an Irish person entertainer
adds all the credibility.
Yeah. And it goes one of two ways with the Irish, though. It's either very good and, like, very funny, or they fucking think they're fucking funny, and they think it's very good, and it's not. And they're like, "Oh, I'm giving you gold right here, and you're lucky to be listening to it." It's like, just shitty. Dude. But, like, when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, and there's no self-awareness that they think it's bad. Mm-hmm. But he's very good. I love it. Like, his... He did a breakdown. His breakdown that is like the best and it's such a funny. He calls back to it. He did a breakdown of Ronda Rousey's Arman. What's the guy's name?
Her coach.
Her coach. And like
Arman. Damn, I'm blanking out on his.
Yeah, but he did a he did a documentary about it, and oh my god, it's called Head Movement, and then like every 5 seconds he plays that fucking
head movement.
But yeah, head movement. And he breaks down how a lot of people, just because of what Ronda did, and I guess Ronda just walked into Glendale and like wanted to fight MMA, like to spite her mom, and she just walked into this one, and then this guy's such a sociopath.
Edmund Tarverdyan.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, this no shit, dude. We don't get paid for it. We don't nothing, dude. Watch that documentary about Edmund Tarverdyan, dude. He breaks down like the lies that he said that he was a champion, and then was it Edmund Shabazian was one of his
teammates? Yeah, he's one of his other students.
And then like how the hype train went so fast, like went way out of fucking the stratosphere for Shabazian, and then just fell right the fuck off the cliff.
Yeah, all the other relevant names that were associated with Edmund are gone now. Like ever since the Ronda Rousey like ship sank, it's just Shabazian like hanging on, and that's it. And I don't think Edmund even shows his face anymore, like in corners or anything.
Yeah, well, because of this guy, I don't know if it's just because of this guy, but this guy did a crazy deep dive into, because when Ronda Rousey was Ronda Rousey, the internet was a thing. You could kind of, but it wasn't so much like an iPhone 14 thing where you can just like, oh, Edmund Shabazian, what did he say? Nope, that's wrong. Yeah. And so this guy did a fucking full breakdown of these wild claims that this guy made, and then he took video of Ronda Rousey striking from the time she started to the end, and she got like progressively fucking worse. Mm-hmm. And then he also brought Joe Rogan into it, and was like, when Joe Rogan was crying, saying that like everything Ronda Rousey did, and he cried in front of millions of people, saying how amazing Ronda Rousey's fucking. That's when I just lost it with Joe Rogan.
Like, you're not even a once in a generation fighter. You're a once ever.
Yeah, fighter. And he's just crying. And see this, and then this is why that documentary like hit the fuck home with me, because I remember watching that episode, because that was when I liked Joe Rogan a lot. I was like, anytime Joe Rogan came up, I just put it on and listened to it. Mm-hmm. And then so I remember listening to this, and then I was like, what in the world are you talking? What is this? And then it went away, and then I kind of like fizzled out on Joe Rogan. And then this guy made this video, and I was like, yeah, dude, that was the same. I had that same reaction, like, why is Joe Rogan crying right now? It was amazing. And then, but he broke down all of the fucking, sorry to cut you off. Like,
no, I was about to cut you off. It's all good.
Yeah, right. And I just know your deep breath, like you're, and then I could like catch you. But he, like all of those like strip mall ninja fucking gyms, all these guys make these crazy claims, dude. And so Napoleon Bonaparte just broke down each claim, like the lineage of everything he said, where he was like this judoka he learned it from like the original judoka from Japan to Brazil to Glendale and everything, like broke it all the way down. And he trained all these world champions. So he broke it down each way and just like factually just fucking annihilated everything this guy said. And then so he's putting it out there, like every lie that he told, and like is disproving it. And to the background is Ronda Rousey in slow-mo just getting worse and worse at striking as her career goes on. And so it's just like so crazy.
That shot of her just shadow boxing,
like just so weird, like jabbing underneath, like a uppercut jab, and like her head just kind of cocked. It's just so funny, dude.
And for a lot of people, that was the moment where people started to question, like, how closely is Joe Rogan like really paying attention to anything other than like whatever the UFC kind of hands to him and says, hey, push this fight, like push this narrative, because it's true. Like anybody who wants to be critical of Joe Rogan, I mean, I don't listen to the guy's podcasts anymore. I fizzled out on him too, but I was a very regular listener of Rogan. I mean, you'd get so many exclusive interviews with a lot of MMA fighters from his show when he started really incorporating them. So but you can't really deny his
interview with Kron Gracie's fucking dad was amazing.
Dixon. I don't think anyone's ever called him Kron Gracie's dad before, dude. That's a first.
You're welcome, dude. But no, the Hickson Gracie interview was pretty fucking badass. He did an interview with Joey Diaz, who was or what's the translating for Yoel Romero?
That was the worst.
That was pretty fucking wild, dude. That's like
so excited for that.
Thing. Yeah, I was really, too.
Joey Diaz is going to translate this interview for Yoel Romero, and it was it would have been better if he wasn't even there.
Just there was no one there speaking.
It's because Yoel Romero's English is just good enough that it was fine.
Yeah.
And Joey Diaz's Spanish is just bad enough that it was useless.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one too where I was like, well, I like Yoel Romero, but like his John Jones interviews were really good. You know, he did some fucking good interviews with UFC fighters back in the day. So yeah. The Cron Gracie's dad interview was.
I'm never gonna forget that one. I'm gonna start referring to Anderson as Khalil Silva's dad.
Yeah, exactly. He back.
He retired.
He died.
I another one that always sticks out in my head is the Justin Gaethje Trevor Whitman episode, where that was a real eye-opening one for where they were testing out like his glove designs and stuff like that, and Trevor Whitman straight out said like, no, like we could implement these glove designs yesterday, but the UFC wants to own it, and that's not going to happen. This is my baby, like, so that was really interesting.
He's done a few, I think, singularly and with TJ Dillashaw with Dwayne Ludwig, when TJ Dillashaw was like TJ fucking Dillashaw. Those were fucking good ones too.
When you see, and we're officially going to go off on a total tangent, but
and then he also did. We'll just wait. He also did the Bobby Green and his trainer, who supposedly learned how to fight in prison or whatever. And they said like, yeah, any fighter that goes to Thailand does steroids. So Peter Yan, Volkanovski, you just see how good these guys are, and like you got to say steroids, right? And then the guy gets popped for fucking steroids. So like Joe Rogan also did that interview.
What was the one we were talking about just before that?
Dillashaw and Dwayne Ludwig.
That episode, because that was like probably one of the last ones that I remember kind of like watching from when I still listened to Rogan. That listening to their fucking bromance, or how much Dillashaw was all about, like, dude, it made me understand. Like, okay, he might have been Team Alpha Male all the way, but this guy came into like the team and was that thing that he needed that like turned it all around for him. Not even turned it all around. It's not like he was like in a slump in his career, but I could understand him deciding like, if it's not going to work out with Ludwig and Team Alpha Male, like, I gotta go Ludwig. Like he does it for me.
That's respectable.
Like, yeah, like I don't know. Like I always like, I don't like TJ Dillashaw. You know, right now TJ Dillashaw represents the guy who screwed Jose Aldo out of his last potential title shot. Yes. So it's team fuck TJ Dillashaw around here right now. But
Clean Juice. He has a juice company named Clean Juice.
I was on Team TJ though when all that drama with Team Alpha Male was going down. I was like, you guys, like, what are we in fucking high school? Like, let the guy go train where he wants to go train. I mean, he'd never.
And then, Oh no! And then Joe had Cody Garbrandt and Uriah Faber on to like kind of like answer, and it was like I could not. It made me want to fucking shove a fucking screwdriver in my ear. Dude,
it was
the way those guys
shit.
talk.
Yeah.
And then like, fuck that shit, bro. I was like walking through the gym, bro, and like, okay, you got a fucking video of me knocking me out. You got a video knocking me out, and it's like, dude, you guys are so good at fighting. Like, just if you just turned off the microphone and watched. At that time, Cody Garbrandt at one time was fucking wild.
Yeah.
TJ Dillashaw at one time and that was a fucking wild ass rivalry. When like TJ yelled, he fucking they knocked the shit out of each other, and then TJ fucking finally caught him, and then just yelled in his fucking face when he fucking won. I was like, oh man, I don't like any of these motherfuckers, but that's fucking spicy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was letting go of a lot of frustration that he probably got out of that whole rivalry. That was that yell was like motherfucker, like we could have been cool. Like
yeah.
You had to make it like this, and
you had to make it weird, dog. You made the shit gay, dog.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. What else are some good Joe Rogan fighter interviews? Fuck.
I never watched that Bobby Green one.
Dude, that one was so cringe.
Uh-huh.
It was so cringe because, like, Bobby Green had that heat on him for taking fights. He took that Islam fight, and he took, like, these fights, like, on late notice. And then he's, like, talking, and then he's talking about, oh, well, my trainer, who's my dad, who's, like, also looks younger than me, he went to jail in Arizona, and then he told this crazy convoluted story, which, like, he's like, oh, they said I kidnapped my daughter, and then but nothing really happened, but I got 10 years. And it's like, they don't just hand out 10 years because you picked the wrong date to pick up your kid on, like, a court appointed visit, dude. Like, it sounds like you actually kidnapped someone and took them across state lines. But like, but okay. And then they just, like, went off talking about how anyone who goes to Thailand to train does steroids. So, like, right away, if he hears they went to Phuket, oh yeah, you fucking do steroids. And then they're like,
fucking Rafael, Fazeev, fucking producers.
Yeah, Fazeev got very mad too when he heard that, because, like, Tiger Muay Thai's, like, I mean, goddamn, like, that's pretty crazy what they do. Like, the fight, like Kaikar France, Volkanovski, Peter Yan,
Brad Riddell,
Fazeev, Brad Riddell. Fuck, dude. Blood Diamond. I mean, come on, dude. But seriously, they're like, that shit's wild. And, like, go on YouTube and watch. They have their tryouts, because they take, like, have you seen it? Have you seen that? They have these crazy tryouts where it's like Muay Thai and MMA, and it's female and male, and you just fucking, you do bag work, you do cardio, you do strength and conditioning, and then you just fight motherfuckers. And then the two best you get a year long. You can train there for a year, or I think I don't know if it's lifetime but you get, it's basically like Kaikar France won it, and it's a scholarship. You eat, you train, you sleep, you live free, and you get trained at Tiger Muay Thai for as long as you go. And, like, these motherfuckers go all out for it. It's pretty interesting. And then I think they started doing it, like, in 2018, like the documentaries for it. It's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, so then this guy just says, yeah, anyone who goes there does steroids. And they're like, well, how do you know? And he's like, well, I went. And then you're like, oh, what?
He was on the field, dude. He was doing the legwork.
Yeah. And that's what he said. He's like, there's just shady deals going on. And then I'm in these, like, there's these shady hotels. And like, why do you know? I was in those shady hotels. And it's like, what the fuck? And he just said, yeah. And so he just basically, and then in one sentence, he basically said, Peter Yan, Volkanovski, Brad Riddell, and Rafael Fazeev take steroids, and he can prove it. And then Bobby Green tests for pops for steroids. And says it was because he was trying to grow his hair or something.
I think one of my favorite episodes with an MMA fighter or personality is the Chael Sonnen episode. Well, there's probably multiple.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just the one that sticks out to me that I know of is when Chael sticks up for or explains the Vanderlei running from USADA issue.
Yeah,
because like when they first started doing the USADA testing, Vanderlei Silva was the first fighter that they. Or actually, maybe he wasn't the first fighter that they tested, but that was the first time.
And how it was like tested. A gay experience too. Like it was like some guy who wasn't even a doctor who wasn't wearing gloves or something like that too. Right?
That was what how Chael was describing his first test under USADA.
Oh, right.
Where the guy just approached him backstage with a clipboard and wanted to take a blood sample or whatever, but so he takes him into like a broom closet. Granted, it's Chael Sonnen. I'm sure he was totally embellishing. I'm pretty sure it was all above board, but Chael's always going to dress up a story. But I thought it was pretty cool that he was explaining about how Vanderlei Silva took it, and he was confused because the guy who went to go test Vanderlei Silva allegedly didn't present any form of ID or anything like that. And he's like, you try and go up to Vanderlei Silva and demand that he go into a bathroom with you and disrobe and let you like prick him with a needle, like. Right. So yeah, I thought that was a really interesting, insightful one.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna make me check and see if there was other episodes with Chael though, because I would totally watch that.
Yeah, there were some good ones on there. Eddie Bravo's cool.
He's not. I can't.
Eddie Bravo's hella cool, dude.
Eddie Bravo's his inclusion in the Joe Rogan podcast is what made me like permanently go.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I like it. I like Eddie Bravo. Dude. Not because like I agree with him, but just because like I just like that. I like that shit.
The guy who is just going to be in the group who's like a cartoon character, basically.
Right, and then but he's also insanely fucking dangerous. Like, he's very good at what he does, and then he was also like, and then him and Joe had an actual real relationship where it wasn't like that. They want to be friends with Joe, and then Joe kind of like is interested in their book, and then they just find that common ground and talk.
They use them for a platform.
Nah, these guys were like poor together and getting high and doing fucking jiu-jitsu, and then Eddie Bravo did some legit shit in the world of jiu-jitsu and is like a fucking pioneer, especially for like no-gi jiu-jitsu. So like, and then how he used to score and commentate for the UFC, where he did like the mid, like he was basically is it Eve Edwards? Before Eve Edwards was even a thing.
Yeah,
like he was doing
analysis, little segments where they go to him. They're like, "What are we looking at right here?" Like,
yeah, he was basically Eve Edwards while Eve Edwards was fucking fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, your sound died.
Like to hear that when, so just to hear how that worked out in history of like the UFC, because that's like back in the day UFC.
Yeah.
Because he was a color guy for Sherdog or Bodog fights, right, or something like that. So
I don't remember. Your sound quality changed quite a bit. I don't know if you.
Oh shit! Really?
You might have dislodged your microphone or something, because after it came back, it sounds like you're on your through the laptop mic.
Oh really? Oh.
It's still picking you up, so I mean, if you can't figure it out, we'll just roll with it. We're kind of close to the end, anyways. But just
sorry, dude.
Oh, there it is. You sound good now.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, so it wasn't like him talking about flat Earth that like got me like, man, I love Eddie Bravo. It was the like him and when Joe Rogan was like that motherfucker. You know what I mean? That and then Eddie Bravo it was kind of a reason why Joe was that motherfucker. And so that's what I liked a lot about it. When it got to where he's talking about like 8 different guys shot JFK and all this, and then it's like, okay. But when he talked about when he really breaks down fucking grappling and like who's good, and then his insight to when that Justin Gaethje Tony Ferguson fight, and Eddie kind of broke down like what was going on there and like why didn't they throw in the towel, or why they did, or why they let him keep going, and why things were going the way they were. His breakdown of it was amazing. And then his breakdown, like I didn't know that Tony Ferguson built his own gym, like from bottom to top, carpenter, like he built his own gym, and that he was training Wing Chun and all this other shit, and how he, and then a lot of people were talking about like the mental breakdown of Tony Ferguson and then Eddie came out and was like, no, dude, he's just, this is going on. It's this, it was that. And it was believable, that's what I liked about it. Not saying that, the Queen of England's a lizard. Like that's, that's not why I liked it. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he could go on there and give winning lottery numbers every week and then talk about conspiracy theorist bullshit, and I'm still going to tune out.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that was mostly that for me. But like you said though, like back in the day when it was more organic guests that were actually friends of Rogan, that was a lot more interesting then, because you make a really good point. Like now there's so many people who are just like, this is a book that I read that I think is really interesting, and there's no way this person is going to say no because I have the biggest platform ever. So I think I mean you can't question his his jiu-jitsu analysis. I think that I don't know any fighters like any like specific 10th planet guys who've made a big splash. I almost feel like the 10th planet system is like kind of gimmicky. I don't hear anybody talking about any of those old school like 10th planet moves. Like remember back in the day when everyone was like, oh, he's got mission control and stuff like that, and it's like none of that shit ever amounted to anything.
The dead orchard or whatever it was,
or like shit. Baseball bat. And I know some of it was just them coming up with clever names for like established defenses and stuff like that, but I feel like that's all stuff that kind of
the like, rubber guard or
rubber guard, exactly. Yeah. Now I don't see anybody putting up rubber guard at all. It's really I would like to hear his own breakdown of that too, because I'm sure he'll probably say like, yeah, no, the game moves on. Like it's not going to be the same all the time. Like,
well, the Danaher, like he explained. I've heard him explain that like Danaher, where they're like, okay, you want to do that weird shit with your legs? Well, don't fucking put your legs around us, because we'll fucking tear your leg off of your fucking hip. And so that kind of now everybody does like the Gordon Ryan, the fucking that kind of fucking leg lock, like Ryan Hall, the kind of shit where like, okay, you want to use your legs as a defense against me? Well, I'm just gonna pull your fucking ankle off. So it kind of like, and then also, as I understand it, like the Eddie Bravo system is very specific to it, because there's like EBA Eddie Bravo, or was it EBI Eddie Bravo Invitational, which is very specific to the rule set that he created. So it's like, well, that's probably why you don't really hear too much about it, because it's dude's just so good at EBI style fucking grappling. So
interesting. Let's talk about before we wrap up. Let's talk about some of the fights that were just announced that are booked, and get your early thoughts on them. See what you think. Some of it we might have seen coming. Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev is booked for UFC 282 on December 10th, and I believe that one's going to be in New York. Oh no, that December 10th at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. So that's probably going to establish the next contender for the winner of Glover and Yuri Prochazka. I think it's an interesting fight. I'm going to be rooting for Jan Blachowicz. Hold it down for Polish power.
For Ankalaev.
You can root for Ankalaev. I am a little worried about this fight, and it's a little tough to picture it going. It's going to depend on whether or not it's a 3-round fight or a 5-round fight, because it doesn't specify whether or not this would be the main event. And let me pull that card up right now. My browser's being a little slow. UFC 282. Actually, it is looking like it's the main event. Magomed Ankalaev, Jan Blachowicz, Ronnie Lawrence, Cameron Simon, Bo Nickel versus Jamie Pickett, Dricus Duplessis versus Darren Till, Robbie Lawler versus Santiago Ponzinibbio, Joaquin Buckley, Chris Curtis. Good card. But yeah, right now that's looking like Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev main event.
I love Jan Blachowicz. The two biggest like gambling wins I've ever had was him against Adesanya, and against Corey Anderson, where he's like, just the Corey Anderson one for me was just very good. Thank you. And so like I like him a lot, but I think Ankalaev has been slow rolled and kind of by me too, as weird as that sounds. I think he's not as good or he's a lot better than what he gets as far as the recognition he gets. He's like the total Dagestani Caucasus Mountain fucking package for me, as far as like guys out there right now.
And for light heavyweight, the dude can chuck him too. Like, I think
he can fucking kick. A Dagestani that can fucking kick. That's like a zombie that can run.
Like, let me look up his stats. He's 6'3". I want to compare and see, because I think Blachowicz is also 6'3". It's not coming up.
Blachowicz is fucking jacked though.
I think the speed. I give the speed edge to Magomed Ankalaev. It's hard
his timing. Ankalaev's timing is very good, which is very hard. You can't really teach that kind of shit.
Yeah,
just that.
And that first level of offense is also going to be just the takedown threat. I think that's going to open up some more opportunities because, I mean, for as much as the commentary liked to bag on Jan Blachowicz biting on all Israel Adesanya's feints, I mean, it didn't count.
The stab jab.
Yeah, but I think that when it's not necessarily threats of a high kick or something like that, when it's a threat of a takedown, I think that's going to be a lot more meaningful and impactful as far as like getting him to bite on feints and miss, or as far as miss a defense on a takedown. And I think Ankalaev is going to be able to find openings there and put him on his back. And like I said, in a 3-round fight, I would probably favor Blachowicz a bit more because I still see the opportunity for him to hurt Ankalaev on the feet. Like, I don't think you can discount that Polish power. But across 5 rounds, I think it's just going to be way more opportunities for Ankalaev to control the pace of the fight and get control time also.
Yeah. Yeah, a Dagestani that can kick, dude. That's what. That's crazy, dude. That's not fair.
They announced Tai Tuivasa versus Sergey Pavlovich, a heavyweight banger.
Yeah.
And where is that one going to be at?
That's a palate cleanser. That's just to like, ooh, yes, thank you, boys. Appreciate this.
That's a nice reward for Tai Tuivasa too, for having to take the Cyril Gane test. When, I mean, if Tai Tuivasa really got on the horn and said, "Hey, just give me a fucking title shot. I'm an exciting fighter. I'm at heavyweight."
What else do you want? Cyril Gane, fucking ass up, like not ass up, but like fucking back up against the wall, like prison ready, like bent over, ready to take it.
He put him on his ass. I mean, that's I mean, it's funny to say this because Cyril Gane's actually lost a fight, so that his other fight was his biggest test. But Tai Tuivasa managed to, in a fight where not too many people were giving him a shot, he also gave Cyril Gane arguably his second biggest test, which is like, here, take this shot that would put so many other people out and come back and win this fight. So
correct.
Yeah, there was value there. And Sergey Pavlovich, this is just such a treat, man. This is another one that's not going to go the distance. We just saw Sergey Pavlovich put Derek Lewis away in under a minute. It was like 56 seconds. My early prediction, I'm going to go with Tai Tuivasa here. I think that just the names, the guys that he's beat, he has more elite experience at this point, and it's very recent. Sergey Pavlovich, I certainly wouldn't count him out because he's a berserker, but he still throws straight punches, which I really value a lot, especially at heavyweight.
Yeah. And I'm going to take Pavlovich. So we're 2 for 2 on like separate, which we never do, but I'll take Sergey Pavlovich in that one.
I think it's because I went first. Normally, if I let you go first, I'm a coward, and I'll just go with your pick.
Oh, is that right?
No, I think that there's definitely been plenty of cases where I let you give your breakdown first, and you totally changed my mind. Like listening.
Yeah,
to your breakdown.
I'm a good salesperson, dude. I don't know if people don't know that. I'm a world-class salesperson.
And then the last bit of news that I wanted to touch on, it was announced that Alexander Volkanovski will officially be the alternate.
How cool is that? How cool is that? So fucking Khabib doesn't get his fucking Benil Dariush will be the one fighting. Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of this. I'm so fucking sick of Khabib Nurmagomedov, dude. I am so sick of it. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of Islam Makhachev. I'm sick of fucking Noah's dad.
I'm sick of
fucking Twitter fingers. I'm sick of it, dude. I don't care anymore. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Fuck. I mean, what the fuck? Okay, come on, dude. I think, let's say it this way, like, okay, we're gonna get out of the pod without talking about John Jones. Biggest John Jones fan, wanted to see him murder fucking, and then DC too. Israel Adesanya are not. Just talking about all the people I hate.
Mackenzie Dern.
Yeah, Megaton. Charles Oliveira is fighting against everybody in this fucking, like,
How
it's
dare
Charles
you say
Oliveira
he's not going to show up
against everybody.
Yeah.
And dude, and then now he's got but Brazil, the weight of Brazil and fucking like because people in the United States love Charles Oliveira now. Like he is like our fucking guy now.
Mhm.
And I say that with full confidence of saying like if you go and ask a random American person who you like, people love Charles Oliveira at this point.
Interesting.
And I don't. Wouldn't you say? You don't think so?
I mean, I'm sure he's popular with people who watch the sport.
Yeah.
But to say just any American, that's
If you took 10 American, not hardcore, but American, pretty decent fans of not who they would say would win, right? Not like who they put their money on, but who you want to win. They're going to tell you Charles Oliveira.
for this matchup specifically, because
Yes, for this specific matchup. Not that Charles Oliveira is their favorite fighter, but in this
do you think
specific
that
matchup,
that's coming from a place of because of not liking or wanting to root for
both
the Russian boys or
both. No,
Makhachev?
no, because dude, I fucking love Russian fighters. You kidding me?
Yeah.
I fucking love them, all of them. Just not Islam Makhachev and Habib Nurmagomedov right now.
Yeah. Oh, and to be clear, I wasn't talking about you. I just meant in your what you said about like if you asked any like American or whatever like that. Like, do you think that their answer would be Charles Oliveira because they are anti-Islam Makhachev, or just because
I think it's just because Charles is amazing.
he's just earned their respect? Okay.
He's earned the respect, and then the bullshit that Islam Makhachev, like the arrogance, and they very very good chance that he can win. Very good fucking fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, world class grappler. But the way they talk about it is it's like a foregone fucking conclusion. Like it's already fucking. It's like, yeah, well, he's been knocked out, and when he's knocked out and on his back, no one ever goes down there with him. I'm gonna go down there with him. It's like, I hope you do. I fucking hope you do, dude.
And in the same sentence, he said that. I mean, this is probably because of a translation error, but right after he said that, he said, "I fear." I don't remember what it was verbatim, but he said, "I fear Oliveira's jiu-jitsu." And I don't know if he meant to say that like I'm aware of how threatful it is and I respect it, and that's why I'm not going to get subbed, or if I don't know if it was just like
these
a
are the guys.
mistranslation.
These are the guys that said that if jiu-jitsu is easy or if sambo is easy,
they'd call it jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm just disgusted by at this point, dude. Because we're right here. We're so close, dude.
I wonder if they do sambo. Like, because I do remember them saying that and having that shirt and stuff like that. But I wonder if, because they're wrestlers, but I wonder how much of their base is in sambo.
Yeah,
I don't see it personally. It all just looks like wrestling to me. But I'm not the fucking X's and O's kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't know, and then it just I can't do. It's because 280's been on my mind almost every day.
Yeah.
And then the shit that this guy fucking says, it's like he's like Charles Oliveira is lucky to be in there with me, and like I can't stand people like that, dude. I can't stand it. They could not just because they're Dagestani.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anyone. They could be, Thai. They could be Polish. They could be anyone that acts specifically like this. And then they have DC just ball washing them every chance they fucking get. I just can't stand it. I just can't fucking stand it anymore, dude.
It almost feels like they are nearing a place where they could potentially demand an immediate rematch if Makhachev comes up short.
Because, okay, so I got this thing. So let's look at Khabib's record now, right? Because he hasn't been that far out of it. And then let's take a look at, some other gentlemen. So really, the fight, I mean, he's beaten Ally Quinta, Michael Johnson. Okay. Rafael dos Anjos, okay. Pat Healy. Oh, wow. Hey, that's nice. Great. Conor McGregor. When was the last time Conor McGregor beat anybody that wasn't Donald Cowboy Cerrone? Hey.
One of Conor's many non-wins at lightweight.
Okay. Abel Trujillo. Hey. Oh, that's fucking great. Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude.
But did you see he made short work of Daryl Horcher, though?
Yeah. You beat Dustin Poirier. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck else did you do? You know, and I mean, you beat Conor McGregor when he didn't beat the notorious Conor McGregor. Let's just call it what it is. He fucking beat Conor at a point in his career where he wasn't the same guy. He was coked out on a yacht, Conor McGregor. You know what I'm saying? Which you can't take. I mean, fight's a fight, but let's just come on.
It was a nightmare stylistic matchup for Conor.
Edson Barbosa, huh? Way to go. The light just went off in Edson Barbosa's eyes. Great.
Going back to the Conor fight, though, to give some credit to Khabib, though, he did put Conor on his ass with an overhand right, which is like if anybody was going to expect there to be anyone to have any success on the feet, that it wasn't going to be coming from Khabib. Like, he actually got closer to finishing that fight by TKO than Conor even did. So I mean, if there's one way you're going to get some credit for what was otherwise a squash match against Conor, it would be that the success that he also had on the feet in that fight. And I mean, it was one. I mean, Conor also got around on him too, but
yeah. I mean, come on.
I think right now Charles Oliveira's done more. I think like just if for nothing else.
And they're saying, well, I never had a loss. I never lost. Woo you. Abel Trujillo? I get so fucking mad, dude. I love Michael Johnson. Pro Michael Johnson. I will fucking both eyes, fucking dick in my hand watching Michael Johnson fucking fight. But get the fuck out of here because you were talking to him that you deserve a title fight. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
All the goodwill that Khabib had built up is fucking gone. And then, my mom doesn't want me to fight. My mom doesn't want me to fight. Okay. Great. All right, man. Thanks. That jacket looks good on you.
I guess I don't really have too much of a problem with the way Khabib's career went down. I think
don't either.
We've talked about the eye test. I have a problem
with the way they act after, where it's like now you're bringing your whole persona is built on that you're fucking Terminator. So you would have thought he beat fucking Hickson Gracie. You would have thought he beat. I was gonna say Kron Gracie's dad. You would have thought he beat fucking Prime Nate and Nick Diaz in the same fucking night. He beat fucking Prime Shogun. He beat George St. Pierre. He beat fucking, and it's Matt Hughes. And it's like, no, you didn't. You didn't beat BJ Penn. But he's acting like he did. And he's telling you, listen to me because I beat these guys. And it's because my dad trained me. So my dad, who the fuck is your dad? Okay, dude, come on, dude. I could say that about because my dad.
He definitely got a lot of rub because there were so many people trying to beckon him, get him out of retirement for a fight too. Like GSP for a while was negotiating real hard to try and get that fight. Well, the UFC was working really hard to try and make that fight. Among other fights, they were working really hard to try and make McGregor, Khabib too. I know for Henry Cejudo constantly had Nurmagomedov's name in his mouth. A lot of it was because of he's the one who got away unblemished. So his fame almost multiplied once he retired.
Right. And why was he unblemished though? Because he fought Pat Healy.
He kind of fought the guys who were there, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. No, exactly. Dude, see, that's the thing. I agree 100%.
If he had stuck around just a little bit longer, because here's the thing: the guy who everybody for like a whole year, almost 2 years after he retired, the one that everyone was saying is it's the one that got away. Obviously, was Tony Ferguson. We now know in retrospect, Tony Ferguson was never had a chance in that fight, even if he was pre Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson, like, you know, without that injury, I still don't think he ever was going to have a shot in that fight. And we didn't know that then. It's something we could say now with the benefit of hindsight because of the way his career has gone, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'd say the only other one he left on the table, which is also one that's a little bit benefit of hindsight, is Charles Oliveira. Because if he had stuck on for a little bit longer, Charles was right there. He was going to end up having to fight Charles. And it's hard to say, obviously, but I think this fight with Makhachev is super interesting because that probably tells us how well Khabib maybe potentially could have done against Charles Oliveira. Where if we see, I think if Oliveira gets the dub here, that whole rumor mill is going to start turning. People are going to be like, how would it have gone against?
And
they're
I will be the motherfucker
push
with the fucking paddle stirring all of that shit because I can't stand it, dude. Yeah. Because
Makhachev's arguably a better version of Khabib, I think. Like,
is that right? I've heard the opposite. I've heard he's a worse version of Khabib. I think I agree with you. I think Islam is a better fighter than Khabib.
I think so.
I think so. And Charles, but you always hear like Charles is better Tony, Khabib is Islam is worse Khabib, and it's like I think they're both better versions of both of those guys.
Charles, when people compare, no, that's just because they kind of like looked like each other a little bit, sort of like no, that's a worst comparison to ever make. Nothing alike whatsoever. Yeah,
Plus,
yeah.
The chicks that Charles is around, they don't have to wear fucking bags over their head, mate.
Yeah. You waste a towel,
what did Carter say?
You waste a towel. So yeah, to me, if Oliveira takes it, in my head canon, I will go like, oh yeah, Oliveira probably would have beat Khabib too then.
But why I think Oliveira, he's in their head because they're saying these things like he's not going to show up. Mm-hmm. If you really thought that the motherfucker was, if you were just that much better than him, you wouldn't be saying any of this. You wouldn't be. Khabib was that type of guy to not say that kind of shit in a fight.
I think he's Ali.
In their head.
I think it's mostly.
You think so?
I think it's mostly Ali. I mean, I mean, you decide to get into bed with the devil, and I mean, I could call him that and be all dramatic, but at the same time, he's probably the manager who gets his fighters paid the most, you know. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of Ali's fighters are green.
Which is because his name's Ali, and there's a lot of fighters that
he has so much pull with his fighters. He won't even. There's multiple media outlets where he won't allow his fighters to do any interviews with them. Like, I think Kayla Harrison is the only one of his fighters who will just say like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna go on Ariel Helwani's show. I don't give a fuck what you say, Ali," and that's about it. Like, I think Justin Gaethje also, because he's managed by Ali too, right?
I believe so.
I think he is, and I think Justin Gaethje is also another one that's like, no. His white fighters are the ones that are like, no, you can't tell me who I can.
Interesting how that works out. Interesting.
Yeah. But one of the guys...
they won't go on the Jew show, huh?
One of the guys from MMA Fighting, I think Mike Heck was just talking about it like this morning or yesterday, about how most of his fighters, they don't interview that many fighters anyways, outside of, because they're affiliated with Ariel Helwani. Like, he does the show with like all the big interviews and stuff. But
well, let's just say right now, Ali's anti-Semitic.
Maybe, I don't know. I think he's just
he's a code switcher too. Have you ever heard him talking when he's talking with like his Slav homies, and then when he's like in the room with like the white guys? I hate guys like that, code switching ass motherfuckers.
I'm a code switcher.
You are?
No, I'm not a code switcher, but I totally can be. I pick up on like if I'm
talk in the room with the same. See, I used to be like that when I was a kid, and then I go, oh man. So like I talk to everybody the exact same.
I don't let myself do it, but I can totally catch myself doing it very easily. I always
that's human nature. That's human nature, though. I think that's just human nature that everybody wants to fit in. You're a Sigma male, so you know that's what you want.
Branded by Brandon.
Yeah,
that's fucking.
But yeah, I think the whole thing with me is I'm not here to say Khabib Nurmagomedov is because it's gonna come off as like Brandon says. If you remind me, this motherfucker's doing a podcast from his fucking daughter's bedroom. Who the fuck is he to say Habib Nurmagomedov is a good fighter? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is,
you talking all that junk.
I absolutely loved Habib Nurmagomedov. I loved watching him fight. We've said on this, I miss him. I miss seeing that, seeing where he took people down, shut the lights off in Edson Barbosa's eyes, and it just felt weird, right? Yeah. But then it's like, okay, and maybe it is Ali doing it, but be a man enough to say to not have to. Why do you have to go through all of that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why do you have to let another man? You're a puppet now. So a guy puts his hand in your ass and then you speak. Like, why are you acting this way? And then Charles Oliveira's never said a bad word about anybody. He's been, and maybe okay, they're selling the fight or whatever, but the shit that they're saying, it's like, I'm the greatest fighter that ever walked the fucking planet. Look at my fucking resume. I'm 29-0. And I'm like, okay, well then, let's look at your resume. Oh. Well, let's look at Charles's resume. Oh. And they're like, oh, he's not gonna make weight.
I'll defend Charles's resume though.
No. That's what I'm saying. Charles' resume is great.
Oh, my bad. I misspoke. I meant to say I'll defend Islam's resume because I thought that that's what you were about to, to get to.
Not Islam's resume. Yeah. I agree with you that he's a better fighter than Habib Nurmagomedov, and will probably end up going down as a better fighter. You know, and if he doesn't win it this next weekend.
And I should say lack of resume, really, because that's the criticism that he draws a lot. It's like, well, he doesn't have any relevant top 10 wins and stuff like that. But we talked about that on the last episode. It's like
he beat the pound for pound best fighter in the world, Arman Tsarukyan.
Yeah, as far as like the fighters that matter to us in the division, like he can't help it if people don't want to fight him. But anyways,
that's true.
To step on your point.
No, absolutely not. It's just we love Habib Nurmagomedov, but it's like when I see one of my homies talking out of line, you gotta kind of fucking reel him back in and be like, dude, come on now. And this isn't the guy to do that on. And then it's just so blatantly false, and this shit, it's just so blatantly like.
That's what gets me is the like. I guess I get like trying to go the extra mile a little bit and give a promotional push to, not even a promotional push, a personal, like to try and talk some shit, to talk some trash, to get some ratings. For one, it's already the biggest fucking card of the year. I don't think that Habib needs to really do anything to help this card. Let the UFC do their thing. You know what I mean? If we're gonna criticize the things that he's saying, but also just the blatantness of it. That's like, if you want to sell this fight, you shouldn't be talking about how your opponent's a chicken who's not going to show up. That's actually doing the opposite of selling the fight. That's telling people, it would have to be a fucking ultra casual to take that and believe it and be like, oh, then never mind, I won't buy this card. But at the end of the day, you're also not doing anything to get anybody more interested in the fight. I don't think so anyways. But like we said, we have those, fucking that Swedish guy was too much of a pussy to fight Nate Diaz. Like, if you try and, like, let's put ourselves into that person's like headspace and be like, okay, what does this look like when they hear Khabib saying these things? I guess they could extrapolate that obviously it's meant to be disrespectful, and this other guy was a world champion for a reason, so he's going to be extra pissed off and he's going to want to beat up Khabib's boy for talking all that mess.
Yeah,
I guess like there's already so much to sell this fight off of that. Like, it didn't need it, and it's weird when it's like, dude, you're gonna go to that when there's so many other ways.
It's just a guy who missed weight so many times is talking about this guy won't show up, he can't make weight, and then come on, dude, come on.
What are we doing here? Let's see. Was there any other relevant news or bookings?
Shavkat Rakhmonov Jeff hands still Neal. We can talk about that one. Kevin Holland is fighting Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Kevin Holland both came out of fucking retirement, basically. so that they wouldn't have to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Dude, talk about the most. And I asked you on the episode before last, like, hey, Kevin Holland is still retired. We didn't think it was going to, go on this long. I really hope that Stephen Wonderboy Thompson gets the upset and takes him out, man, because I don't know, like, it sets a precedent. And I also think a lot of people are praising Kevin Holland for this this money move, like playing hardball with the UFC. I honestly think that was very likely a fight he was going to end up with, even if he didn't pretend to retire or play hardball or anything like that. They were probably going to match him up with
same amount of pay.
Yeah. Like, what did he really accomplish other than just continue further setting a dumb precedent that is going to have other fighters thinking that they can do the same thing? When if a lot of fighters try and do the same thing, they're going to end up like Henry Cejudo. The UFC is going to be like, okay, bye. Like, what the fuck do I care?
To me, it went the opposite. It's like, did Hamzat really do that to you?
You made him think, like, did he actually kill your spirit?
Did he really fucking kill you in that cage? Because I didn't think that at the time. But now that you took the fight so fast and you took it against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson of all things, it was not like he took on a top 3, top 4. This is going to get you a title shot fight. It's a Stephen Wonderboy Thompson fight, which, hey, 2017, that's a banger.
Yeah.
But it's fucking 2022, dog, and so you're just
hunt that hard for a stand-up fight for you at welterweight.
Yeah, and you're chasing the bag, and then one guy's running from somebody who would have fucking probably ended his career. So, and I see Wonderboy Thompson doesn't deserve the hate, but I wouldn't take a Shavkat Rakhmonov fight either. But
he's probably going to end up fighting Shavkat. Now that you make me think about it,
he's going to have to.
He's going to be the guy who's going to have to fight both Hamzat and Shavkat.
Yeah,
because schedule-wise, everything ranking-wise, depending on how it plays out in that Jeff Neal fight, and then now with this Wonderboy fight.
Verbal DJ Khaled meme. You played yourself.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Kevin Holland. You played yourself.
I think if that's going to kind of like potentially play out as punishment, Kevin Holland, he could probably escape that fate if he gets a knockout over Stephen Thompson, though. If he gets like a super impressive fight. I don't know who they put him up against after that. Maybe if he gets a really dominant win over Stephen Thompson.
Because who has Wonderboy really fought lately? Like Till? And I mean, what the fuck? Dude, this podcast just goes, huh?
We're off the rails, dude.
We were talking about best Joe Rogan interviews, fucking frozen pizzas.
Wonderboy is on a 2-fight skid against Bilal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns.
And I mean, if you're gonna lose.
Before that, he had wins over Jeff Neal and Vicente Luque.
No.
And before that, losses to Anthony Pettis, Darren Till, win to George Masvidal, lost to Tyron Woodley, Rory Mack, Johnny Hendricks. He has one of the most impressive,
but I mean, if Johnny Hendricks is on your resume, it's like, damn, dog.
He's been around.
Been around, Holmes.
There's a name in that list that I think Kevin Holland will potentially end up in a fight with if he wins this fight with Wonderboy. Vicente Luque.
Masvidal?
Vicente Luque, I think.
Oh, Vicente Luque.
Yeah, I think that would be a good fight for them to plug Vicente Luque into if Kevin Holland comes up and gets the win over Wonderboy. Oh, look at you, pajarito. No one knows why I said that. You muted yourself while you were coughing. Set respectful. Let's put a bow on it. Let's end it. I don't know what else to talk about. But I like the free-flowing form of this episode. And you're
Tatsuro,
right. We did cover a
Taira.
lot of stuff.
Tatsuro, Taira. Everybody. This could be the episode that makes us look cool as fuck for just going off on a Japanese fighter and or just look like some stupid motherfuckers.
Oh, and you know what? We brought it up, but we really just ended up talking about Charles and Makhachev. But fucking all the props to the biggest gangster on the card, Volkanovski, for being ready to step into that.
Yeah,
fight
he's
with
so
that guy.
fucking badass.
I mean, pure upside, really, but still, like, he's gonna be over. He's gonna be outside. What's the word I'm looking for? Undersized.
Yeah.
Naturally, because of his frame for the division. What do you think would be, before I let you go, what do you think would be more advantageous for Volkanovski? Like, who does he have a better shot against if he has to go in there and fight Makhachev or against Islam?
Islam, yeah. On short notice, Islam, because Islam's going to keep his fucking head on more of a. Well, Charles kind of keeps his head on a straight line too, though, and is more willing to stand in the pocket and take a shot. But I just think he can take a Volk shot a lot better.
He hasn't shown any signs of that chin, losing that chin. And we've seen Volk in trouble with Brian Ortega before with some deep submissions where he barely survived. Hard to imagine that with a guy with the kind of.
And he's just built to get out of a grounded pound fighter's kind of fucking. You're going to try and take him down and hold him down. He's not a take him down and hold him down kind of guy, and then now he's one of the better strikers, so it's someone made the point, which makes a lot of sense but then doesn't at the same time, was like, on what other sport would the best team or the best player be the alternate?
Oh, good point.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because like he is as higher prestige than both of those guys, but
he's better pound for pound than both of those guys by a lot. By like a lot. He's like, wow. To me, he's the best fighter on the planet right now.
Yeah. As much as we like to shit on the UFC, though, I mean, pretty much our entire program is dedicated to the content. And but yeah, this is one instance where we got to give him props, because there's not too many other promotions who would be able to pull this off, to have this level of fighter as an alternate, as a backup, to where if we lose either guy in this main event, we arguably end up with an even more compelling fight. It's absolutely insane, and I really wonder how much they are paying Volkanovski to be ready to fly to Abu Dhabi, to be ready to weigh in, to cut weight and all that stuff for a fight that might not even happen. That's the craziest thing about it too. That's like the extra professionalism points too. And this also tells you he's going to fight the winner. Like
at some point. Yeah, he'd have to.
I think we might find out like he's going to be ready, because he'll take this opportunity if it happens to present itself for this card. But I think this is him telling the promotion, like, put me in, if I don't get to fight, whatever, we'll see how it goes. I'm ready to fight. Yeah.
This guy's so badass. I just love that guy, dude. I mean, it could very well come out that, he's killing puppies in his spare time or whatever, and we may look stupid. But right now, I absolutely love this guy, dude. I absolutely love everything this guy does. What's crazy is, so you just made eloquent, beautifully worded fucking point. 100% agree with everything you just said. I'm going to give you a stoner, like, kind of answered our question. Like, how they say if ants were like the size of humans, they would just rule the world because of their strength and like how fucking just amazing they are. They're built for like just fucking dominating, If Volkanovski was like, if you can like scale him to heavyweight, like there's absolutely no one on the planet that could beat him in a fight.
We'd win wars with Volkanovski.
Yeah.
Alone, we just drop him out of helicopters and occupied territories and shit like that. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'd say this is the one that's always going to move around a bit, because like we can talk about putting him pound for pound, and we're not going to completely open the can of worms and get into pound for pound at the end of this episode. But Volkanovski right now, sure. If anybody wanted to say he's number one pound for pound, and after October 22nd, that might change, depending. Because I think if Oliveira gets this win if Oliveira finishes Makhachev, I have to slot him into number one pound for pound, man. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
Sarukian would be third.
That is the biggest ball wash of this show right there, dude.
I think did I say it in the last? Did I just say? I think I did say it in the last pod, so I won't say it again. But how I fucking they like announced the Armin fight, and then I put in the comments like two different things, and like baited Islam Makhachev stands into just fucking going off on me in broken English comments. It was the best, dude.
Is that on Twitter or
Both.
Instagram? You saw? Oh, okay.
Both.
Yeah.
All the Instagram has that like I got hella fuck like I couldn't see my stories and couldn't refresh my feed for like a day and a half though because it was like community guidelines.
Oh shit.
Man.
I reported my friend Ricky because we were talking about MMA in one of our other group chats, and they don't really like that group chat. They're not really like super into MMA. Ricky is kind of like the most,
right.
But they're more like casual about it when I bring it up. And we were talking about Joanna leading up to the June fight or whatever, and he's like, "Isn't that chick that like got her head all swollen?" So I reported his comment.
Fuck that guy.
I reported his comment, and just to be a dick or whatever. But I screenshotted that I was reporting it, and I sent him the screenshot, and I was like, "Next time you learn your lesson, do not talk shit."
No, I got reported
just as a joke
because I couldn't. Because I remember one friend of mine. I don't know why. I only speak to him on Instagram. Well, that's you, but another friend of mine, I only speak to through Instagram communications, and he'll actually like call me on it too. It's so weird.
Get a grip.
Yeah, dude.
You only talk to me on IG.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I don't even know what the point I was gonna fucking make. But no, he was like, "Hey, dude, I've been messaging you. I saw him like at the store." He's like, "Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of you." And I was like, "What?" And then I look, and I couldn't refresh anything, and because I hadn't posted a story or anything that day, so I wasn't really like totally into it.
Yeah.
And then, so then I found out like I must have got reported by a bunch of Islam Makhachev fucking. Because I said Armin Sarukian beat him. Like, Armin's only lost to the judges. And then, dude, they were just like, he got 30-27 by Islam Makhachev. And I was like, it was on short notice. And then just like, yo, shut the fuck up. If it would have been full, you would have fucking knocked him out. And I was like, no, short notice. He's only lost to the judges. And then they were just, dude, I mean...
Brandon out here trolling, dude.
That was sick, dude. But that's so sick about our fucking society. It's like, that's how you get... Because then I realized, like... Because I guess my final point will be this, is like, our podcast isn't like fucking, the Weasel or, Ariel Helwani or, anybody like that. But it's pretty fucking good.
Our 12 listeners, like, no duh.
Yeah. My mom, who's the Weasel? Sorry, Mom.
Who'd you? Oh, that's right. You said the Weasel. For some reason, I heard the Schmo when you said the Weasel. I was like, okay, we don't have a gimmick like the Schmo.
Yeah.
At least I don't think
but
we
I'm
have
saying
a
it's like it's pretty cool. Like, I stopped listening. I used to listen. Now that we've kind of like fixed like the mic situation on my end, like I kind of stopped listening to it to like, because I used to just listen to like to make sure like it wasn't like completely unlistenable, but from like a audio perspective. So, but like I can kind of like, I would listen to this one, and I listen to a lot of them. This MMA part, but at the same time, it's like I completely forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
Too blasted, you bastard! Yeah. You didn't even let me finish my story about reporting my friend.
Oh yeah,
just went off. I was just gonna say, now every time I open up a message between him and me and him, I get a notification. It's like, is Ricky still bothering you?
The fingers hovering over report. No, but the thing I was saying is like, but we don't really say spicy, shit, to get like, I'm not just gonna say, Islam's gonna win because of some spicy ass shit. Like, he's not even gonna show up. Right. Like shit that's like factually untrue. And I think if you take the Yan Jonan fight, like both of us had very measured and ultimately came out to be provably true takes on what ended up actually happening. But unfortunately, a lot of views or a lot of like eyeballs go to people who just say wild, fucking crazy, off the chart shit. They'll fucking lie and make shit up,
Rage baiting.
or have just a crazy take that gets provably disproven.
Yeah,
just like completely disproven and dismantled, but that it'll get 130K fucking views, and it's just like so frustrating. And that's what I learned in that exchange was like, I knew Arman Tsarukyan lost to Islam Makhachev. I watched that fight live and knew he lost that fight. All I did was say and then the most Instagram fucking traffic I got in a single day was me saying that Arman Tsarukyan beat Islam Makhachev, and it was the judges that gave it to him. That's so fucking shitty.
People give all their attention to things that piss them off.
Right.
And
that's so shitty.
And influencers have figured out how to monetize that. Like, they just completely honed in on it. They understand that the algorithm only cares about engagement. It doesn't give a fuck. It's not analyzing the comments. It like if 2,000 people comment on your thing because you posted some pseudoscience bullshit, like some like Dr. fucking okay, so like I opened up TikTok today for the first time in a while. I've had it on my phone, but I don't use TikTok. But once in a while, a friend of mine will send me a link from TikTok, and every time I open up something that like someone sends me from TikTok, I'm reminded of how trash TikTok is. I can't, and this is gonna sound like an old man yells at cloud, like rant against new social media, and it's not. Trust me, I'm a lot more informed on it than just like, oh, this is new and different. The moment
have you seen our memes? Please.
Exactly. The moment you open up TikTok, if you haven't been on the app long enough for the algorithm to kind of like figure out what to start feeding you, and all you've given it is the bare minimum information, your email address, your username, and it probably knows whether or not you check the box somewhere, or it just kind of like gets it off of your history. It probably knows you're male or female. So if you're a male, the first thing you'll get is just nothing but thirst traps, like chicks like pretending to be chopping vegetables and shaking their tits and stuff like that. And it's like, that's the kind of stuff that you expect to see a social media platform start to reduce itself to when it's going to shit and you're about ready to jump off. And with TikTok, it's that as soon as you get on the fucking ride. And it changes really fast, to its credit, because I did use TikTok like for a little bit, like closer to when it first came out. Well, probably not when it was more popular, like when it was like potentially going to be banned or whatever. I was using TikTok, and then I got off of TikTok because I just hate it, and I wasn't following any of my friends on there. It was all just random videos that are fed to you by the algorithm.
I did it because Donald Trump told me to.
But yeah, ultimately, like I saw a video where it was like this fat person or whatever, like showing off all their loose fat, and then it was like a doctor side by side, like remixing the video, like pointing like, yeah, this is true. And it was just a video telling you that like lemon juice and turmeric and hot water, if you drink that, like you'll lose hundreds of pounds and shit. Like, so it was just that type of stuff, like rage baiting, misinformation type stuff, and thirst traps. And like with that doctor one or the turmeric one, like nobody saw TikTok in 2020 and actually believes that stuff and decided like, here's my chance to spread my knowledge to the world. Everyone, like whoever made that, whoever was dressed up as the doctor in that video, knows people are going to see this and know that it's absolute bullshit. And they're going to go to the comments and be like, are you fucking stupid? Are you retarded? Exactly. Like, that doesn't work, you dumb idiot. And TikTok doesn't care about what those comments say. They just know that guy got fucking 30,000 comments of people like talking shit and calling him an idiot, and I hate it. I hated every second of that. And I did it as just like, I was so bored on my couch, and I was just like, I'm sure going to beat Islam Makhachev. So fuck you. What are you going to tell me? And I'm not like calling you out for trolling either. Like, you didn't even realize you were trolling. It was there's been some times I'll troll MMA comment sections too, because the comment section is already a fucking dumpster fire. Yeah.
And it was just so funny to me. I hate that. I hate it. I just wish like it was more like measured and weighed on like what you said. Because if you go back to like, we've been wrong. This is the the podcast that took Jared Cannonier to beat Israel Adesanya. But but also like
that wound hasn't even healed yet.
Yeah. But for sure, like I'm the guy that told you that like we were talking about, like, well, Sean Strickland isn't this stupid, but if he does, that left hook's going to make him look fucking ridiculous on national television. Well, the left hook made him look ridiculous on national television when a lot of people weren't saying that. A lot of people were saying that Sean Strickland was going to box this guy's face off and had the best defensive boxing on the MMA had ever seen, and then he just got fucking blasted the fuck out. So so for every like Jared Cannonier bullshit we fucking come up with, we'll give you pretty decent shit. But we'll admit when we're wrong. I'll admit it, but I just hate that they don't. When people like, they'll just say like the wildest, like borderline racist, sexist things, and then they just don't even acknowledge that they said that, and they just keep it moving, and it's just like, and then they're fucking successful as fuck. It's crazy.
I just hate that other people don't recognize it. I hate that they don't realize that they're being,
or that they do, but they just don't care, you know,
or that they'll just like signal blast like bullshit, like
like
food, like going back to like social media, not like connecting it too much to MMA, but like food influencers. Like I noticed the trend of a lot of like food influencers and like barbecue themed like Instagram pages will post a reel or whatever and be like overcooked or raw. And it's like it's obvious it's a perfectly fine medium rare steak, but people they can't see that question and be like, "Oh, I gotta chime in on this. I gotta tell them that shit's too fucking raw." Or like, of course it's a like,
In-N-Out fries are actually very good. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, people can't resist. That's what makes me mad. And on a grander scale, you know, you could scale it up to Alex Jones. And like the way that he makes money off of disinformation, and then he gets slapped with a tiny like fine for it. There's nothing to scare them out of continuing to monetize disinformation, and that's like the big, like the worst case scenario, like fucking end of the spectrum on it. Like as far as like influencers and engagement and stuff, MMA fighters are still just barely figuring that out. Like it's kind of funny when you start to notice that an MMA fighter has kind of like, whatever you want to call it, like red pilled themselves into understanding. Like all of a sudden, like they see the Matrix and they realize like Paulo Costa. Like Paulo Costa gets it. That guy, I don't know who put him onto it or whatever, but he understood like, oh no, you have a thing here. Like you just keep pretending. Like, just say whatever's going to enrage people, or they're either going to love you or they're going to hate you.
Boy, it was like, dude, you got fucking boned out on fucking pay-per-view, dude. So you can handle it one or two ways: act like it didn't happen, or just fucking meme your way out. And he's like memeing his way out.
He memed his way out. Yeah. I look like the juiciest fighter on the roster, and I'm going to double down on that and just exactly. Yeah. Patty Pimblett, anybody like I don't think just anybody can like see that and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna turn it on and suddenly be a thing.
Sean O'Malley's trying to do it with like the Tekashi 6ix9ine bullshit or whatever. Like that's his boy and shit. But I don't know.
Are you a Kanye West fan?
Yes.
Do you think that Kanye West is rage baiting, or do you think he's just literally legit mental illness, or what is, like, do you think he knows that, like, if I wear this All Lives Matter shirt, it's going to get everybody pissed off and I'm going to make headlines? Like, do you think his mind was working like that, or do you think he's just crazy and I think he's just been to the abyss and back as far as like fame and shit. And I think he's in such rarefied air. You know what I mean? Where like, okay, he's been in the room with Donald Trump, and you know his wife does speak to like the Clintons on a fucking, you know, in like a friendly manner. He's fucking been in like the room with like everybody on the planet, and they all love what he does. From fucking people will wear his clothes. So he's just been in such rarefied air that it's very hard for him to understand that doesn't really hit with guys like me and you or some, you know.
it's just and I'm sure like, and it's been a long time since someone will just tell him like, hey dude, what, so
True. He's definitely a guy who probably doesn't have very many people pushing back on him.
But I think too,
good point. Like the people that he's been in the room with, like, how can you, even if he does understand, like the
because we're telling
byproduct,
we're telling him he's wrong, but it's like the president and we may not like that president or whatever, but they'll listen to him speak. Fucking, Letterman will call him and ask him, hey, will you dress me for my Netflix fucking show? Jerry Seinfeld wants to fucking interview him. So it's like we're telling him he's wrong. Like he's like, maybe you tell us, then we could be like, no, maybe you're wrong.
And and he could sell the butt ugliest clothing at ridiculous, outrageous prices too. So like, how can you not have an outrageous ego? Like that's just insane. Yeah.
I was just a huge fan of his from like day one. His music, I don't know why it just hit me a certain way. Like his newer shit, it's like okay, but there's still always something, and every album he's made I've liked. There's like something I can point to that I've liked. Some of them more than others, but and also I think he's also a cautionary tale of like, because a lot of the people, when you go super woke on certain things to where it's like, because he's at maybe borderline fucking just way fucking wrong, you know what I mean? There's also the side of it where it's pushed a guy to the point where like, dude, you're telling me things that I can provably tell you aren't wrong. You're creating a toxic ass culture of just cancel who you want, whether you have fucking proof or not. You know what I mean? You have guys like I don't know, what was his name? Casey Affleck, like Ben Affleck's brother, right? Like the guy's whole career, the guy had a great career, fucking in these amazing movies, and can't even act anymore because an actress said he invited her up to his room, and said, "Hey, I'm a man, you're a woman. What do you think?" And she said no, and he was okay, very good, and walked away. And she's like, I felt like it was rape though. And then he's like, well, I didn't do anything to you. I just kind of courted you, and you said no, and then I walked away. Well, I kind of felt raped. And then everyone's like, he raped her. Nothing you can. And it's like a culture gets created to that level extreme where like someone's whole ass career could get fucking what's it? Aziz, that fucking comedian. Aziz Ansari's career fucking
for a bad
because the chick felt bad because it was a bad date.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So culture's gone so far that way to where it swings behind all the way to where Kanye's at right now, and it's like, fuck, dude.
No matter how inconsequential it may be, there's just automatically a built-in like team of cheerleaders for either side who are going to like drum it up to be something crazy to where you can't just ignore it. Yeah. And then you got instances like what's his name? The comedian, short guy who does movies with The Rock. Kevin Hart. How he had to apologize twice for an old bit that he did about like how
he couldn't do the Oscars anymore.
Yeah, like how if his son was if he found out his son was gay, he would break a dollhouse over his head or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, how about he'd apologized for that bit like a long time ago already, and then everything was fine, and then he was booked for the Oscars, and then it just got drummed up again because the internet will just recycle shit, and then they wanted him to apologize again. It's like no, like stop, do your homework. I've already apologized for this. What are we doing? Like, you can't just decide you're gonna wring my neck every time. Like the thought police. Like, yeah.
And I get like you said. See, and then I'm on the other side of like I hate the thought police. I just hate it. You know what I mean? And because I don't inflict any pain on anybody. I have a certain set of beliefs that I instill into my family, to my kids, but I would never do it to the point where I disparage letting anyone else think things or say. They could say or think whatever the fuck they want, and I will never disparage them for it. And until they like do harm on me or anyone else, that's when I'll bring it up. And I've always been very staunch on that. Like I have what works for me. I would never infringe on anyone's rights or personal beliefs, and I give everyone the right to say whatever they want to say and enjoy their life how they want to until they start hurting somebody, you know? And I just hate where it's like, no, you're wrong if you don't think how I think. And that's when I get very mad. And then I troll my family. I troll like anyone who like, they're very much like that, where they're like, no, you don't think what I think. You're racist. You're a misogynist. You're a fucking, you love Trump. You like, I came out saying, I remember I came out saying like, I don't want this guy to, I would not want this guy to be the president. Like, I've been like, verify, you can like, put, I mean, emails, fucking voicemails, text messages. I can tell you. And then I say one thing that like he kind of said, like, you absolutely love Donald Trump. Where's your red hat? And it's like, no, dude. Like, I just disagree with you this time. But then I'm a racist that thinks that Hillary Clinton eats babies, and it's like, I didn't say any of that. I didn't say any of that. But now you force me to lean into that because like,
there was that one time you told me to look into it in regards to Hillary Clinton, though.
Oh, it's no, dude. Please do though, because but it's on both sides. No,
I didn't mean to derail it.
No. But
everybody's always
the shit about her is there on anyone at that level of political.
For every politician for the rest of politicians, that's going to be happening now. That's what it is. Exactly. There's never going to be another election that either side isn't just going to say was stolen at this point too, because of the precedent that was set. Yeah. So no, it's just it's only going to become more and more of a shit show.
But see, and that's the thing. I hate Donald Trump people saying like, if I agree with wanting healthcare for everybody because it's just fuck, dude, we should just have that. Like, why can't we just have that? Yeah. Then they're gonna say like, oh well, you're a fucking groomer that fucks little kids, then, huh? And it's like, no, dude, I just like my teeth hurt and I want to go to the dentist and not have to pay out the nose.
I don't want to worry about like if I find out that my kid has leukemia. Right. I don't want to also be thinking about how it is financial ruin for my family because I don't have the greatest career or whatever. Like, it shouldn't, like, come on, like.
Or if I want to point out that, hey, I just point out anything in the about like institutionalized pedophilia within the entertainment industry, like it's just provable. If I want to say that doesn't make me a racist for saying that, you know, or like it's like it's just too like you can hate pedophilia and absolutely want fucking healthcare at the same fucking for everybody at the same time, but in our society you just can't. You're either one or the other.
You got to put you in a box.
I absolutely fucking hate that, dude. And so like I've leaned into like the fucking fuck you, I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want to say. And like I've also leaned into like, because I look like a white dude, like I just fucking lean into it because I just love watching people get mad at me for it. I fucking love it, dude. Because you can lean into it in any way and then you can get proven right. You can be a hardcore leftist and just prove everything that conservative people say that's wrong, and then you can be proven right. You can be a hardcore conservative. But I think there's a certain center that we should all be striving to. And I think my main thing for me is that people who remain atop, whether it's like financially, spiritually, you know, like global leaders and whatever, finance, religion, entertainment, wherever, they profit the most off of. And all this came from an Armin Sarukian comment on Instagram that like they stay where they are, and they've stayed where they are because we're fighting over the stupidest fucking bullshit. Because we're not thinking about like where if they can just print hella money and put it into why do I have to pay taxes? You know what I say? Like, why am I paying taxes that are like insane in Fresno when like a dude in fucking Wyoming is paying like nothing? You know what I mean? Like, what is that about? Like, why is that? You know, or you know, you can just you go all day, and you don't want to because you're fighting about, you know, does Oprah aid and fuck the Jewish cabal? And but it's just like, no, dude, it's insane.
Have you ever heard of the subreddit called QAnon Casualties?
Yeah, where they talk about their
stories
family
about family members and stuff who went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff is heartbreaking, man. I just heard about it recently.
It's pretty sad, especially the QAnon thing, because it takes you to a point of like, yeah, dude, some of that shit is a fucking problem. And then it goes to, well, it's because JFK Jr. is still alive. It's like, oh no, dude, god damn it, we're right fucking there. It's like when you're talking to someone and then it's like, yeah, because like Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell,
yeah,
that's wild, that's true. And then it goes to like, because Donald Trump knows and he baited them into it and he blah blah blah, and it's like,
because
no.
Donald Trump is the head of a secret anti-child pedophile
there's
task
tunnels.
force. Yeah.
There's tunnels under from New York to Arizona that are saving children on a daily basis, and no one wants to talk. And it's like
the big conservative like anti-child trafficking like movement and stuff. It's like, dude, we get it. Nobody wants children to be trafficked. How are we politicizing this apparent battle where all you're doing is busting like massage parlors and saying,
well, they're politicizing the wrong thing, because it's like, well, okay, very well, very good. That's like Jakey said, no one likes it. Okay, so why does it always come to some dead end? You know what I mean? It just always ends up at a dead end, and it seems like,
or it's always a teen runaway.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But then it's like, okay, so there's fight logs, there's this, there's that of Ghislaine Maxwell's this, there's that, and connections. Why can't we ever get that information? Why does it always go to, like I said, JFK fucking Jr. and tunnels under this? And why can't we just go like, okay, well, you follow the money. Where was the money coming from? How did he get to the level that he did, and who were the people that funded him? And then it gets to a certain level, and then it just fucking goes way off a fucking cliff. So it's like when someone's telling you how to fucking bake a cake, and then you're like, yes, and then they tell you some like crazy African sweetener that you'll never fucking get ever, and that's the only way that it'll fucking fix it, and you're just like, oh damn it, that cake's gonna taste like shit.
I guess if there was money in the truth, then we'd get it.
Right.
But yeah, fuck Ali Abdelaziz.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's quite the direction that we took. I think that'll be a good time to call it. Thanks for the super interesting chat. Let's see, what's my outro spiel? If you were still with us, congratulations. We've probably taken you on a bit of a ride. You probably want to leave some comments and let us know what you thought about our detour. I'd be interested in knowing what you thought about it. If you, our dearest listener, are still listening, but don't you dare think about leaving a comment without hitting like first and subscribing. We don't want no fucking non-subscribers commenting. Get the fuck out of here if you're not a subscriber. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for any of our future content, and we'll see you next week for our next episode of The Fight Club. Have a good night.
QAnon is a CIA-based mind control tactic where they're trying to fucking take the truth and then they fucking divert you into this wild-ass rabbit hole, and they just make you fight your family at Thanksgiving. God bless you.